We're now live on YouTube, starting us up on Rumble. Good morning, hello, and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is what happened to date throughout the annals of recorded history. Join us as we delve into yesteryear, not only for important and interesting happenings, but to possibly even answer questions you don't know you have. I am Alexander.
King's Refuge.
Waiting for Ghost. I guess she's not going to say something. We have, of course, have Ghost. You know, the Casper Ghost, the hostess with the mostest in the postest. I don't know. And we will be joined by the Golden Lone here in a minute. He's already on his way, but I just enjoy yelling his name like that. And of course, you viewer, thank you very much for coming in and watching us. Today is Saturday. So yeah, Saturday, aka Saturn's Day. August 24th, 2024. 2424. Look at that. Anyway, what do we got here? Starting us off in BC.
49 BC, Julius Caesar's General Gaius Scribonius Curio is defeated in the Second Battle of Bagradus River by the Numidians under Publius Attus Verus and King Juba of Numidia. Curios commits suicide to avoid capture.
Whoa. Well, I mean,
I'm just thinking here. That about how we don't have a lot of BCs in here.
Yeah.
And then Alexander the Great came to mind, and then his library came to mind, and like I'm thinking to me, it just thought just occurred to me, what was the timeline that was recorded in that library?
Well, what's interesting about the Library of Alexandria is that the governments of Alexandria, any book that crossed the border, like I'm not sure into Egypt entirely, but like any book that came into Alexandria itself, was by law copied, and that copy was put into the library, and then the original can continue on its way. But any information, any scroll, any parchment, and this was before books, so anything like that was documented and kept in the city as a centralized thing of information. So it was a way to gather, and like a lot was lost because I saw something about this a long time ago, but it was saying that the amount of technological advancements and opportunity and potential was lost to the point where we could have been traveling to the moon at the time of Christopher Columbus. That set us back several thousand years easily. And we can thank Julius Caesar for burning that shit down. So once again, Italy, like constantly doing things. Everybody's constantly doing things that destroy the world, but Italy, the invention of fascism. Before that, they destroyed the library. So it's absolutely wild. But it's interesting that you would bring that into like observation, because the loon.
So we never have any BCs, and I was just
Yeah.
kind of popped in my head.
Yeah.
Like, what was the recorded history?
But what's interesting is that, Alexandria, as we know, was created by Alexander the Great and all that stuff, and then that was that later became property of Ptolemy, one of Alexander's generals. After he died, his nation will go to the strongest. So then they had a whole schism, like 7 some odd countries that formed out of his empire and everything. The Ptolemy dynasty and everything, took over Egypt and all that whatnot, including Alexandria. And then later on, that was conquered by the Romans, and then Rome split and everything, and then Constantinople, Istanbul. So it's really interesting. Thousands of years of history.
Ptolemy, how long did that regime last? Do you know?
A while. I do know the last of the Ptolemaic dynasty was Cleopatra,
Oh, okay.
who self-deleted because by asp poison. The snakes, asp, ASP.
They got their ass kicked.
Yeah. Well, No, like she intentionally like offed herself rather than being subjugated by the Romans. So like Cleopatra and
So
Julius
she's the end
Caesar.
of that dynasty then.
Yeah, she was the end of like ancient Egypt and all that stuff. The end of the Ptolemaic dynasty.
Okay.
So her bloodline goes all the way back to Alexander the Great. Not directly, but her great 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 grandfather personally knew Alexander the Great because he was one of his generals, one of his friends.
Okay.
Ah. Really interesting.
Yeah.
And then that's why everybody was so up in arms about the whole Netflix special trying to pass off Cleopatra as black. She was bloody Greek. She was white. She was not black. And then of course, there's that that recent Netflix thing where they made that the King of England black, gay, and handicapped.
I've never seen Netflix, so I don't know any of that.
Well, let me
to it all.
Let me look that up here really quick. Netflix black, gay, king. It's so ridiculous. They have him in some kind of like 14th century bucket thing. So, yeah, I don't know why this is Netflix black gay king show meme. I'm getting weird stuff here. Like, well, it's not.
Yeah.
Don't worry about
Wow.
It's meant to throw you off.
Yeah, of course. Anyway, let's move on up here. What do we got in 79?
79 believed until 2018 to be the date of the massive eruption of Mount Vesuvius, which buried the cities of Pompeii, Herculaneum, Apollontis, and Stabae, killing untold thousands. Latest evidence suggests the eruption occurred after October 17th.
Ah. So, like, we have just the approximate date and everything.
Right.
But it's really interesting. I just want to bring up an article from yesterday. I was talking with you. 79, Mount Vesuvius began stirring on feast day of Vulcan, the Roman god of fire. So that's really interesting. On feast day of the god of fire, the volcano began stirring. And I remember historical accounts said that the people took that as some kind of good omen, that they had gotten his attention, and that was his way of showing it. Well, they got his attention all right, but not in a good way.
No.
No. And as I told you,
so these dates are all approximate.
Yes.
They don't really,
Well, they're so old,
exactly.
And that kind of coincides with what just went on. King was saying we don't have that many articles in the BC because think about it, 2,000 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time ago. Now 3,000, 4,000. Like how long ago do we have anything that's still around that documented anything from that far back?
And what is still around, how accurate is it?
And what is being open to us? What's not being withheld in the Vatican secret archives and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Like.
But we do know Vesuvius went off big time and killed a lot of people.
Yeah.
That we do know for sure.
But I was talking with you the other day while we were out for a walk and everything, about all the various deaths, people getting killed.
Yeah.
But take a look at this. There's a skeleton. He was running and he got hit by a boulder.
Ooh.
Like do you see that?
Yeah.
So you see, he got boom right there, and that's how he died. You can tell he's face down by the pelvis and everything. So he got hit in like a scene out of a Hollywood movie. He got hit in the back of the head with this freaking giant boulder and knocked him down. Obviously,
Crushed him.
Yeah, but look at it. That's almost comical, you know.
Yeah.
And then of course there's that one of the guy covered in the ash, wanking it. I'm not sure if you've seen it.
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
Don't need to. I think I'm going to.
Yeah, here it is, right here. Yeah, and you see everything, but hey, the world around you is blowing up. Hey, might as well rub one out, what else are you gonna do? You're going to die.
Yeah, one last time.
Go out smiling. Why not? Oh. Anyway, let's move on up here. What do we got in 410?
Rome overrun by Visigoths under the Alaric I for the first time in nearly 800 years, seen as the fall of Western Roman Empire.
All right, so as I was just talking about, Rome splitting into east to west, Constantinople, at one point they had Alexandria, and the entirety of the Mediterranean was a Roman lake. It's pretty interesting, how you can connect things, in history. You
Yeah,
have like
yeah.
the ancient Macedonian Empire to Rome to Constantinople to modern day Turkey. Like, yeah. But really interesting how like Pompeii, the previous belief of the eruption was on the same date as the fall of the Western Roman Empire and everything. And we have more things that's coming up today that, really interesting, especially, to snackers, like, so. Anyway, let's move on up here. 458, Kanak, the precious peccary, ascended to the throne of the Maya city of Tikal as its 12th ruler, succeeding his father Sian Khan, Stormy Sky. So, precious peccary, whatever a peccary is. Oh. That's really interesting. We have Aztec history, or Maya history.
Yeah.
1215, Pope Innocent III declared the Magna Carta invalid. Ooh, that's a major power play. The Magna Carta was one of the most important things in Western culture, and here we go again. The Church trying to keep power. They don't want people to have the power.
Valid, huh?
Yeah. 3049. Well, we have two of these, so this is interesting. I'm not sure if these are two different events of the same thing, but we have the Black Death Massacre. 6,000 Jews blamed for spreading the bubonic plague were killed in Mainz, electorate of Mainz, part of a wave of pogroms across Europe. And we also have here Black Death Massacre. Jews of Free Imperial City of Cologne set themselves on fire to avoid forced baptism into Christianity amidst bubonic plague accusations, part of a wave of pogroms against Western Europe. So, and 1349 as well. Jews of Cologne, Germany set themselves. Okay, so this is the same thing. So they're getting blamed for the Black Death. They're getting, people are trying to force them to become Christians, so they're setting themselves on fire instead. And that's really that's not a good look for them at all. Like, they're getting blamed, and then they set themselves on fire rather than be converted. That's making themselves look guilty in the eyes of the accusators. I
look at it as the opposite. That they just won't succumb to it, so they are in defiance of their guiltiness to their own death. I look at the opposite.
Oh yeah, no, I see. That's exactly what it is. I'm saying to those who are accusing them, this is just fueling their fire, so to speak. This is validating their beliefs. Oh, they'd rather kill themselves, than convert. So therefore, they are guilty. Like, hate is hate, and hate blinds.
Yeah, that's true to a point. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, to those who are pointing the fingers, this only validates their pointing.
Hate is a very negative, powerful thing.
Yep. But we also have 1391. Jews of Palma, Mallorca were massacred. Jews? So boom, 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 boom. Jews this, Jews that.
Same year?
No, this is the Black Death stuff was 1349, and this was 1391.
Oh, okay.
So this was 52 years. 42 years later.
Yeah.
But still,
Yeah.
Like, why do they keep getting the bad side of a boot? What keeps happening?
I don't know. It's
and we're not allowed to talk about it. Otherwise, we're anti-Semitic. So so now we just can't question. We can't figure out. We just got to accept what they say. Just don't talk about it. Why? We can talk about everybody else.
I mean, obviously, there's no time here to cover the whole day. But on a lot of these things, you'd like to look up the understory.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying the Jews weren't victims. They were. Of course they were. But why?
Why repeatedly does it keep coming up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway, going from one religion to another, what do we got here in 1456?
The printing of Gutenberg Bible is completed.
That's a big one right there. The Gutenberg Bible.
Oh, Gutenberg. Okay,
yeah.
I didn't quite get there.
Yeah.
Absolutely big.
Mm-hmm. And we were talking about some first book in this area or something yesterday, right? Or no, some guy talking about it. Yeah, he gave his demonstration on some religious book. What else do we got?
1511, Afonso de Albuquerque Portugal conquers Malacca, the capital of Sultanate of Malacca.
Ooh, they got their capital. That's not good for
Uh,
them.
Not good at all.
No. What are you sipping on? Is that another protein shake?
yeah,
Nice. How is the milk? Which milk did you test with today?
I put it in that silk stuff, but
Uh,
since you told me it's all soy, I might have to search for. I'm looking for almond milk, just actual almond milk.
well, I'm not sure if
That-
silk is soy milk. It just sounds like, S-ilk soy milk, Like, hold on a second. Is
What's
silk
soy milk taste like? Is
soy
it any
milk?
good?
Silk. Original soy milk. And you got silk, right?
It says almond milk,
Well, it could be almond
Silk.
Almond
flavored.
milk's different.
silk almond milk.
Well, it
Almond
could be.
milk comes from almond.
Well, if it's
It
soy
better be.
milk, it could be almond flavored soy milk,
Well,
or it could be almond
I
infused.
don't know. I haven't
I don't know.
looked at the ingredients.
But let's see. What is silk product beverage? Let's see here. Silk brand. Brand of dairy substitute products, including soy milk, soy yogurt, almond yogurt, cashew milk. So it is soy milk. So.
But it says almond milk
it
too.
says almond. Yeah. It says a
So
lot of stuff.
you might actually have almond milk.
Or a
Okay,
combination of
good.
But
If I so
How does
if
it
soy
taste?
milk wants to
How
exist,
does it taste
go ahead.
mainly?
Yeah. I want almond milk, not
yeah.
soy milk that tastes like almond milk. So that's
Yeah.
why you got me thinking it might have been.
Well,
Hopefully
I don't
that-
know. I'm not telling you. That's what makes
Hey, I
sense to
checked
me.
it. Still got
I've
to
seen
check the
almond milk in
ingredients.
the store.
Yeah. Oh, I like almond milk.
I've never had it.
It's good. Like
It's a lot better than you think it would taste.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking
Right.
it's not so good.
Well, like
It's
but you
very
never-
hard to tell. Well, it's
Oh,
hard
okay.
for me to tell
I'll
the
have to try
difference
it
between,
someday.
other than the feeling milk can give you. With
it's to express what to me it's like how almonds have that nutty earthly flavor.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, but watery. So it's watery, nutty
Yeah.
almond.
Oh.
Like
little
earthy.
watery.
Well, it's not too watery. But
It doesn't. It doesn't. When I drink regular milk, it feels like I'm coating my stomach, and it just feels
Oh, okay.
heavier than it should be.
Yeah.
And you don't get that feeling with almond milk.
Yeah.
So almond milk would be more like skim milk if you're familiar with that at all. I'm not saying necessarily the flavor taste.
And in terms of the way it makes
the
you
texture,
feel in your
yeah.
stomach, yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've never had skim
But
milk.
the
so I
taste, no, it doesn't taste as nearly as bad. Skim milk's horrible.
But it's not a predominant. It's just you have a hint of the earthy, nutty flavor of
Gotcha,
almond.
yeah.
And it doesn't taste watery. It tastes like
Almond
nothing
It doesn't
with
have that coating effect
yeah.
that milk does.
Like
Okay, I
it's
got
hard
it.
to explain. It tastes like nothing without nothing with the taste of almonds. Like,
Yeah.
you gotta try it. It's
it's
pretty
try
good.
it. It's not as bad as you think it is.
It's pretty good. So, what else do we got here? 1572.
1572, St. Bartholomew's Day massacre of Protestants by Roman Catholics begins in Paris and later spreads to the French provinces.
So right there, we just because it's so culturally widespread to be allowed to talk about this, we know why the Roman Catholics massacred the Protestants, because they hated each other on the religious level.
Yeah, that's for sure they did.
And we are allowed to talk about that.
Yeah.
We know about that. So, 1608, first English convoy land at Surat, India. Oh, here we go. And then they made the English India Company, and took over and all that stuff. 1635, the Great Colonial Hurricane affected the Virginia colony at Jamestown.
Hurricane.
Yeah, a hurricane.
You don't hear about hurricanes back in the day. Obviously
Yeah.
they were there, but they don't make news to be recorded.
They probably
It's right there, so they did.
Yeah.
They do.
Well, that's kind of like that kind of reminds me of the joke from The Simpsons. I'm not even gonna look it up actually, but it's like they had some kind of hold on a second. Simpsons joke weather. The Weather Center, hurricane. They're talking about something about They haven't had a hurricane since the weather center mysteriously disappeared like 15 years ago or something. I'm butchering the hell out of the joke, but it's really funny. Anyway, 1662, an act of uniformity required English to accept Book of Common Prayer. All right, so it's.
I wish I was more familiar with the Book of Common Prayer.
Well, it's obviously Christian and stuff, but they're trying to uniform stuff, and they are a Judeo-Christian society.
Yes.
Well, they used to be, as we used to be, So.
Well, more of a Christian society back then.
Yeah. 1682, the Duke of York, James II, awarded the 3 lower counties that form modern-day Delaware to William Penn, ensuring ocean access for his colony for Pennsylvania. 1632. 82, sorry. Roughly 100 years before we won our independence.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then 1690, Job Charnock set up East India Company HQ camp by Kalikata village in modern Calcutta. What was I just saying? Here we go, East India Company.
Calcutta.
So that's pretty interesting. On the same calendar dates, we have the
3
first ship arriving there, and then now they have a presence there. Watch out, the disease is spreading. The disease of English colonialism.
Yeah.
What do we got? 1704, Sir King.
1704, Battle of Malaga, largest naval battle in the War of Spanish Succession, tactically indecisive but grand allegiance strategic victory.
All right.
What is the War of Spanish Succession? What is that?
War of Spanish Succession. Not entirely sure. Let me look that up here really quick. Let's see here. War of Spanish Succession. It was a European great power conflict between 1701 and 1714. The immediate cause was the death of the childless Charles II of Spain in November 1700, which led to a struggle of control of the Spanish Empire among supporters of the claimant Bourbon and Habsburg dynasties. So it was a power vacuum struggle, essentially.
Yeah, when he was killed.
Well, he died. He had no heir, so somebody had to take power, and there a lot of people were vying for. So the War of the Spanish Succession, who succeeded the Spanish crown?
Yeah.
So.
And that.
Yeah.
Happens more than not when there's vacuum power.
Power vacuum and all that stuff.
Then there's always more than one that want to fill that vacuum.
Yep. I mean, once again, bringing up Alexander the Great. He said one of his final words was, "My empire goes to the strongest." So then all of his friends, his generals who were friends with each other, immediately started warring with each other because there was a vacuum.
Yeah.
He didn't appoint anybody. He didn't have any heirs, and my empire goes to the strongest. Well, he fucking set it up. Yeah. He set up his everything he built to be destroyed. What an idiot. What else do we got here? 1751? This one wild.
Thomas Cawley executed in England for drowning a supposed witch. Wait, what?
I know. Isn't that what we want?
I thought we drowned witches.
So why are we executing people who are executing the witches? What is it? Is it because he was being a vigilante executor? I
don't know.
That's so wild.
Yeah, maybe.
What the hell? That's so
what
stupid.
What the hell, man? I thought those were the rules.
That's like
that's in England.
She's a witch.
Yeah.
So we don't know what was going on in England.
But see, that makes as much sense as executing somebody after trying to self-delete because it's illegal to self-delete, which actually has happened. Literally, it has happened in several. This has happened multiple times. In let's say in this one province, okay, there's a law saying it's illegal for self-deletion.
You're saying
I wouldn't be surprised if that's the thing in China.
There have been people who have attempted that and it's failed, and then they got caught and then they get put to death. So tax. No, they have. No, they have been put. I'm telling you, legitimately, there's been instances of people breaking the law, by trying to commit self-deletion, and they fail. So then, as punishment, they get the death penalty, and they get executed. So, that's happened.
People being prosecuted for. Suicide.
No, that's legit happened.
I got you.
That's
never heard of it.
I know. Yeah.
Well,
17... Go ahead.
Say, wow.
1787?
1787, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart completes his violin and piano sonata in A K526.
Ah. Rock me Amadeus, however the song goes, you know. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know. I have a musical joke, but yeah, I don't think I can say it on air.
Mm.
But 1789, and I'll say it off of mic to the loon here.
1789, French Revolution, the National Assembly proclaims freedom of speech. Nice.
I'm all for the freedom of speech, and I'm trying to put the joke together in my head, but you know, I'll say it after the show and everything. But yeah, freedom of speech, hell yeah.
Yeah, most. Yeah, they're kind of, aren't they? Sorry, go ahead.
No, he was just saying how big of a supporter he is of freedom of speech.
Oh, I was gonna say, how's that going now? Are they part of the same, UK, European? You have to go to jail for your tweets now, or
yeah. No,
how's the French doing on that part?
Not just the French, like all of Europe. Germany, is under attack.
Oh yeah,
Britain,
Germany's doing it too.
They've literally knocked doors.
Yeah, they're covering up for the migrants that they're over there, right?
Yeah. There's a whole thing going on that there's in a tolerance festival or something like that. There was
diversity.
A diversity festival or something in Germany. There was a mass stabbing, 11 deaths, I believe, so far. But the police are not releasing any information because the suspect does not meet the status quo criteria of check marks. So they're trying to protect the illegal immigrant who's doing all this. Because it would be offensive, towards that certain populace or whatever. Like they're covering them up.
Well, here's what drives me nuts. All these diversity. Oh, we're totally diverse. Blah blah blah. You know what? I don't give a blankety blank about what color you are, what shade, what talk. They're the least diverse groups in the world because they have no tolerance for diversity of opinion, and that's the only thing that matters. Mm-hmm. You want everybody under the tent because everybody has different opinions. So let's listen to everything.
Yeah.
Oh no, the diversity people want no diversity in opinion.
And
and color's irrelevant. Who cares?
And I've been thinking about this, and I don't support. Once again, I want to say I don't support either side of the political spectrum. But if the blue side wins, we'll have the first DEI world leader.
Okay. DEI meaning what?
Didn't earn it.
Oh.
Diversity, equity, inclusion, all that crap.
Without ever getting a vote for her party.
I'm of course talking about cackle and camel toe, Yeah. 1814, British forces captured Washington, D.C. during the War of 1812 and destroyed many landmarks, including the Capitol building. They burned it down. Trying to get us back as colonies. They really, you want to talk about iron grip.
Well, come on. There was mass value here in all those colonies and control.
No, it's not just that. They're still holding that iron grip to this day as we speak. Over Ireland and Scotland. They just will not. Those were the first countries to be taken, and they just will not let them go.
Again, there's great value.
Yeah. 1816, the Treaty of St. Louis is signed by the U.S. and the United Tribes of Ottawa, Ojibwa, and Potawatomi in St. Louis, Missouri. Must have been something, to get rid of more of their rights and all that stuff.
Well, you got to guess if they got screwed, but who knows?
Of course, yeah.
That's assumption on my part, so that's not fair.
Yeah. Very much like what's happening currently to one country in the Middle East, but everybody turns a blind eye to that. So, 1831, naturalist John Henslow wrote to Charles Darwin to offer him a place aboard the Admiralty surveying vessel HMS Beagle on the voyage to chart the South American coast.
Oh.
Ooh.
I wondered where that was going. Okay.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Cartography, very important. Now, 1853... Good Sir King gets to talk about a revolutionary invention in the snacking industry.
First potato chip prepared by Chef George Crumb at Moon's Lake House near Saratoga Springs, New York. Popular legend says he invented it through earlier recipes that existed.
Yeah. Though earlier recipes exist. So legend says he invented it, but the recipe for the potato chip existed prior to this event.
You know, when Pringles came out, you know, the ones in a can all stacked up.
Oh, I know exactly where you're going.
Huge fight with the potato chip industry saying, those aren't potato chips.
They're not.
Because
they're processed. They're all the same uniform
they're
shape.
ground up.
And then they're turned into
a dye. And made.
Yeah. Those are not potato chips. Yeah,
so they had to take potato chip off the Pringles can.
Yeah, because they're not potato. They're potato based.
Yeah.
But they're not. You know, potato chip. You take a potato, you chip it, and there you go. Yeah. You know, like Pringles are not potato chips. They're crap. Like.
Well, I don't know if they're any more crap than a potato chip. But
well, they're even worse because they're
technically not a potato chip.
Well, you know, there's more processed stuff that goes into making a Pringle than it would a potato chip.
I don't know that.
Potato chips are highly processed. I'm not arguing against that, but there's even more of a processing to make Pringles because
let's just say, don't have Pringles or a potato chip for lunch, and that's all you have. Not good.
You know what? Cut out the junk, cut out the candy, cut out the soda. You know, like there's a lot of stuff in our diet that we don't. I mean, like even this, I'm drinking this grape juice.
Yeah.
This is just as much, if not more, sugar in it than a freaking soda. So why am I even drinking this crap? You know, like. Anyway, 1854.
Yep.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, it's your turn.
Nothing. 1854 National Immigration Convention meets in Cleveland.
Now, there's a difference between emigration and emigration. One being an I, one being an E.
What's the difference? I've never heard this.
Well, let's see here.
Never heard of the one with the E. I wasn't sure how I wasn't sure how to pronounce it. I haven't even heard of it.
Yeah, let's see here. What is the difference between immigration and emigration? Let's see here. An immigrant with an E is someone who immigrates, moves away from a country. An immigrant is someone who immigrates, moves to a different country.
Oh, okay. So one's leaving, one's coming.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So an immigrant is coming to the country,
yes.
right?
Yeah. So an I immigrant is coming to you. An E immigrant is going away.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep.
That's awesome.
And an immigrant
Holy
versus...
cow, how could I not know that?
An immigrant versus a migrant. Migrants are generally referred to a person who moves from one place to another or back and forth. So they're ping-ponging. We all know what a refugee is and what asylum seekers are.
Yeah.
So, but immigrant, migrant, refugee, and asylum seeker. 5 different things, more or less about this. Doing the same act but different reasons.
Well, one of them's the opposite.
Yeah, one of them is going away. The other is, So we need a lot more.
Same thing from different perspectives.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of immigrants with an I. We need a lot of immigrants with an E. We need to reverse it. We need to go back. So, I mean, they're saying these poor downtrodden people, yada yada yada. We think that we're getting the doctors and the physicians and the good people. No, we're getting the people who are too weak of a spine to stand up for their own nation. We're getting the trash, and you think that that's going to make us better? Yeah. No, absolutely not.
Well, first off, you're breaking our laws. So how good are you?
Yeah.
Very first thing they do when they come here is break the fucking law.
Yeah, and then they complain that they're not getting free stuff enough, and then they turn their nose up at foods.
Yeah.
And then they turn around and cause crimes,
Oh,
stab
you're
people.
not making food from my home country.
Well, then go back to your home country. So, anyway, what do we got here in 1858 or 57? Sorry.
1857, the Panic of 1857 begins, setting off one of the most severe economic crises in history.
In U.S. history. So Panic of 1857. I'm going to do a surface level
Yeah, look that up. I never heard of that.
Yeah, let's see here. Financial crisis in the U.S. caused by the declining international economy and overexpansion of the domestic economy. Because of the invention of the telegraph by Samuel F. Morse in 1844, the Panic of 1857 was the first financial crisis to spread rapidly throughout the United States. Huh.
Because of communication.
Yeah.
How about that?
Wow.
To take hours, it used to take weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The world economy was more interconnected by the 1850s, which made the Panic of 1857 the first worldwide economic crisis. Wow. In Britain, the Palmerston government circumvented the requirements of the Bank Charter of 1844, which required gold and silver reserves to back up the amount of money in circulation. Surfacing news of this circumvention set off the panic in Britain. So basically, you know, people were trying to be sneaky, and it ended up causing an entire problem. So here's an idea. Stop being greedy!
That'll never happen,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah. But that you know, once again, it reminds me of like another Simpsons, Mr. Burns stock taker. This is hilarious.
Situation. Great.
Yeah.
I hear great.
All right, well, let's have a look at my stock portfolio. Confederated slave holdings. How's that doing?
It's, steady. I'm sure all your stocks are doing well, sir. After all, you chose them.
Well, let's get out the old stock ticker and have a look. Here's where I stopped checking it last time. September 1929. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
September 1929. Oh no.
Kind of bad news.
Yeah. Let's see. There we go. What else do we got? 1858.
1858, Richmond Daily Dispatch reports 90 blacks arrested for learning.
Wow. Wow. Can you imagine?
what?
Learning.
Oh.
For learning.
Uh,
For learning, they get arrested. You know, and the BLM movement thinks they have any validity in today's world. Like, outside of what we know is the truth, you know, like the black community in the U.S., you know, think that they have it so bad. You know, go back to when you could get arrested for learning. You know, you don't know hardship. You know, is there stigmas? Is there still hardships? Yes. There always will be for everybody. There always will be. That's just the nature of things. The only thing we can do is work together to make it slightly better, you know? But to sit there and just cry and bitch and moan, you're not doing anything to solve the problem. You're just making more, you know? Like, look at where we come from. Being arrested for learning. And then look at all the opportunities they have today, and they're still bitching. Stop crying.
and the flip of that was some states wanted to have reading as a priority to vote.
Yeah,
And
But-
then you want to jail them for learning.
Yeah.
Come on.
yeah. I mean, well, hey, that should be a man. If you're gonna vote, you have to, in the very least, you know, have some level of understanding of every party, you know, that's on the table, not just right and left, but like, you know, like the middle of the roads, the moderates, you know, the third party.
It cannot be a criteria.
No, you got, like, if you're gonna vote, you need to know who you're voting for. You know, you can't just blindly,
No,
you know, go out and
no.
vote. Yes.
No. Because then you're setting up for restrictions. No, I don't think you can have a moron. He's eligible to vote. Hopefully
Well-
he educates himself, but you can't guarantee that. You can't say if you don't educate yourself, you can't vote.
Well,
No,
that happy-go-lucky
no.
mentality-
You're giving the power more power. You're giving the powerful power.
Well, you
No,
know, in
absolutely
a
not.
kumbaya world, Loon, that would work. But in that mentality, I'm sorry to say, is what has allowed the world to be the way it is today.
Well, you're creating that by just saying that. You're creating that power
Well,
vacuum.
something needs to happen. You know,
How about
like,
better education from youth? How about better education from?
that's what I'm
from
talking about.
birth?
People need to be educated. Just
But you can't-
period.
You can't discount them because they didn't get the education. You just can't. You have to open it up to all. That's what we're all about. If you don't do that, you pick and choose.
Well, I'm not talking
The
about- I'm not
the
talking-
powerful won't pick and choose what you want. The powerful are going to pick and choose what they want to make them more powerful.
I'm not talking about making a law. I'm talking about the society itself needs to uphold that as one of our core criterias. Before you go out and vote, not by law or by mandates, you should culturally self-regulation, educate yourself on what you're voting for before you vote for it.
Well, now who's talking kumbaya? But, you know, when you're self-monitoring yourself, that's one thing. But if you're trying to monitor the society and you have to have a certain level,
No, I don't want the society monitor. I want the society to monitor itself on an individual basis. You know, I want people to be self-accountable. Like, you know, yeah. Anyway, 1877, U.S. outlaw John Wesley Hardin, wanted for murder, was arrested by Texas Rangers on a train in Pensacola, Florida. Ah,
I've heard that name
John Wesley Hardin. Huh.
somewhere.
Well, he was wanted for murder.
Yeah.
And that's around the time you were born, right? 1877?
Well, I was 6.
1891, Thomas Edison patented the motion picture camera. I wonder who he stole that from. Oh. 1893, a tornado destroyed the coast of Savannah, Georgia, and Charleston, South Carolina. About 1,000 people died. Yikes. Yeah.
It's a lot of people for the population then.
Yeah. 1904, Battle of Liaoyang, 200,000 Japanese against 150,000 Russian. Japanese tactical victory. That's a lot.
Yeah.
350 some odd thousand. You know? 1905, the Chicago Cubs defeated the Phillies 2-1 in 20 innings.
Ooh.
E. 3 years later, Canadian champion Tommy Burns knocks out Bill Squires in 13th round at the Sydney Stadium, Australia, to retain World Heavyweight Boxing title. Burns' third knockout of Squires. Oh, look at that. Squire just doesn't know how to stay down, does he?
You just wanted to bring your Aussie accent out.
Well, I mean, I can't help it. Like, you know, I see the word Australian, you know, I gotta just, you know, just like, you know, it just happens. 1908, New York Giants scores shown on electric diamonds known as Compton's Baseball Bulletin at Madison Square Garden. So, you know, one of the first electric scoreboards, I
guess
think.
so.
1908. So,
It's pretty.
yeah.
That's a long time ago. I wouldn't think it goes that far back, but I guess it does.
Yeah. 1909, workers started pouring concrete for the Panama Canal.
Ooh,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yep. 1911, Manuel de Alegria was elected first president of Portugal. Cool, first president of Portugal.
Yeah.
365 days later, the District of Alaska became an organized, incorporated territory of the United States. Thank you, Russia.
Yeah. Yeah, they screwed that up.
And like
They
Russia,
want it back now too.
Yeah, yeah,
Who
Russia
claims
is-
it's theirs.
yeah, they're trying to say that that something was invalid, or they're trying to pull some like
Yeah.
you know leftist mentality bull crap. You know, like oh well, this writing wasn't written this way, or oh somebody didn't check mark this way, or
He just
you know,
going on the record.
yeah. 1912 as well, a ticker tape parade was held in New York City for Jim Thorpe and victorious U.S. Olympians. All right.
Jim Thorpe,
Yeah.
famous athlete.
Yep. Yeah, it's sad we don't have you know things like that. You know, people coming back home and throwing a little celebration
Yeah.
and whatnot. But then again, you know, the Olympics have become so corrupted and you know so useless and like expensive and money laundering and oh man. 1912 as well, U.S. passed an anti-gag law, federal employees' right to petition government.
So that's anti-gag.
Yeah.
Can't stifle language.
Huh. So, yeah, I wonder, you know, if this obviously is still not around, you know, they with the whole Trump thing. Even after the court, he still had a gag order? Are you kidding me?
Still does to this day.
Wow. So, once again, I am not a Trump supporter by any means, but...
Wrong is wrong.
Yep, wrong is wrong. 1914, Paul Rubens and Sidney Green's musical, with additional songs by Jeremy Kern and Herbert Reynolds, The Girl from Utah, premiered at the Knickerbocker Theater in New York City.
That's
What a
funny,
name.
The basketball team is the New York Knickerbockers. They
Yeah.
call them the Knicks now.
Huh?
But that's the original name,
The
Knickerbocker.
Knickerbocker. Well, you know, they probably call them the Knicks because, you know, the original word kind of sounds like a racial slur.
I never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know how it does, but okay.
Knickerbocker?
Yeah.
You don't hear it?
No. Oh. Oh. Geez,
Yeah.
That's a stretch.
No, it's not. In today's world, like, I'm probably already going to get canceled, you know, just for saying this. Like,
Knickerbocker is something, though. I can't remember what it is, but
it's a pant.
I wonder how.
It's a type of pant. A pantaloon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hold on a second.
Didn't know that.
Let's see here. What is Knickerbocker? Let's see here. Okay, well that's the team.
I wonder if they're still the New York Knickerbockers or if it's officially just the Knicks.
I'm not sure.
Because I haven't heard Knickerbockers in years and years and years.
And this isn't.
Knickerbockers.
Knickerbocker. Here we go. Loose-fitting breeches gathered at the knee or calf. So breeches. So that's the
Okay.
type of pants.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Knickers.
Yeah.
There you go, knickers.
Watch.
What?
Just watch it. But yeah, no, like back in like old
those are
colonial days,
knickers.
yeah, knickers. So, yeah. What else do we got here? 1918, the Chicago Cubs won earliest pennant ever. Season ended at September 2nd. So I wonder if that was their earliest pennant ever, or
Well, they clinched the pennant on September 2nd, so it was
Ah.
the earliest time clinched.
Okay.
In other words, they're 15 games ahead or whatever. They play the rest of the season, but they clinched the title.
okay,
In other words, they're ahead 15 games and there's 14 to go.
okay. In the year 1919, having pitched into the 9th inning, Cleveland's Ray Caldwell is flattened by a bolt of lightning, goes on to record a final out for Indians 2-1 win over Philadelphia A's. Wow.
What's the odds of that?
I don't know, man, but yeah, you want to talk about being electric on the field. There you go.
He was charged up to win.
The Volts joke, I don't know. 1920, your turn, King.
With British approval, Greece is encouraged to take offensive action against Turkish nationalists in Asian Minor. What's Asian?
Asia Minor. So it's an area in Asia, like, Asia Major, Asia Minor. It's an area
Oh.
in Asia.
Oh,
So, like,
Okay.
so the British are basically, they encourage the Greeks to take offensive action, or the Turkish nationalists to take advantage in Asia Minor. So they're allowing, a culture war, essentially. And here we go.
1922, first Philly to hit for cycle, Cy Williams.
And you know what the cycle is.
Yeah, single, double, triple home run.
There you go.
Ah,
Yeah.
Don't say it question. You say it with authority. Yeah, that's a single, triple, double home run,
But I don't have any authority when it comes to sports.
But you know
Cy
it's
the
to say it with
cycler.
authority, not with a question mark. Sports. Who would have thunk it?
Oh, here we go. 1929.
Palestinians attack Orthodox Jews in Jerusalem.
So we have, and I'm sure this is not the only example, but we have
Yeah, we
documented
had-
evidence
yeah.
that those people are not welcome in that area of the world. So what did Europe do after the Holocaust? They put all the remaining, or as much as they could,
Give them their
and
own
put them
country.
directly into an area knowing that nobody wanted them there. Gee, I wonder what the predicted outcome was.
But that's where their heritage was, in that area.
Yeah, I'm not saying they
So
weren't
there is
ever
a
there.
reason for it, but not a good one at this point.
The Jews, the Muslims, and the Christians all have claim, and none have claim, as it was said in what's it called, Kingdom of Heaven. Like, they all have claim, and none have claim. So, actually, I wanna play that really quick here. Kingdom of Heaven, none have claim. So, actually, I'll play this after the show, but I'll add this into the underbar section for anybody who wants to watch this. But I want us all to watch this after the show here, really quick. So let's continue on here. 1932. What do we got?
First transcontinental non-flight by a woman, Amelia Earhart, begins in Los Angeles, California. I wonder how that turned out.
Yeah?
Well, I mean, this is not when she disappeared.
No.
I know.
Yeah, yeah. Oh. But Casper is saying.
Wait a second. Are you sure that wasn't when she disappeared?
Well, it would have probably said something, but when did Amelia vanish?
39.
39?
Okay,
Is
so
that
it
what
was
said?
later. Okay.
Okay.
Is that what,
He disappeared at 37 at the age of 39.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was 5 years
Oh,
later.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So next year.
Uh,
Oh, wait.
No.
5 years later.
No.
Yeah.
5 years later.
But we do have something next year here in 36.
Australian Antarctic territory created.
Oh, crikey, look at that.
Created, huh?
Yeah.
Like it didn't exist before that?
Well, they laid claim.
Yeah, no, I know.
So-
I know.
And I believe this is before the treaty came into effect that nobody could lay claim to anything involving Antarctica.
Yeah.
But everybody wanted a slice of that,
Yeah.
you know? But, wow, so now the Down Under had a Down Under.
Yeah.
You're literally down even more under. 1936 as well, U.S. President FDR gave the FBI the authority to gather intelligence on fascist and communist groups. Good. That's, I'm pretty sure, I know how much you hate this guy, and I don't blame you. But, you got to admit
So-
this was an intelligent move on his behalf.
I'm not going to agree with that, no.
Gather intelligence on fascist and communist groups. People who are
Yeah, but
trying to
then
destroy
you
this
can-
country.
Okay. That's then. But that opens up the door for multiple things to gather, on different groups. It gives them way too much power. Sorry.
You have a point.
Even though it's something that, yes, they need to be monitored and gathered, but no. You just open up a book of worms. Sorry, I don't want to give them that control, that kind of power. Nope,
Wow.
nope.
Then that just allows them to blindside us even more efficiently. Like,
Well,
something's
there's
got to
different
give.
ways you can go through it, but don't give them that secret power to do that.
Yeah, you have a point. You have a point. Something needs to give, though.
I mean, it does make it more difficult, I agree.
Yeah. Uno Mas, 1930s. Actually, two more. Sorry.
38 Virgil Truck strikes out his 418th batter, highest season total in organized ball for Andalusia in Alabama, Florida league game.
Huh. All right. And speaking of that, I want to go back to Casper here. It said Knickerbockers are the New York Knicks baseball or basketball still there. So
I know that. I just
yeah.
wonder if the name is officially the Knicks or is it still the Knickerbockers?
Official name of the New York Knicks. Let's see. The New York Knicks. The New York Knickerbockers.
Okay, so it is the Knickerbockers. They just shorten it down, don't use it.
Probably for the very reason that I expressed. It sounds way too
No.
much. Hey, I know it's a stretch for you, but you got to realize what kind of a stupid backwards
But they've been
fishing
using,
for
but they've been
offensive.
they've been using the Knicks name now for years and years. And
I know.
years. Way before wokeism or anything else.
Well, maybe that's what that was the very beginning. Hey, let's get rid of that. Start subliminally, gaslighting the entire population towards a certain mindset. It's little things like this that
Because
set
I
the
haven't
stage.
heard of them called the Knickerbockers since the 60s or 70s.
Yeah, exactly. Right as the start of the civil rights movement. You
I
see?
can't connect the dots.
Yeah,
But go
well,
ahead.
You see the
Semantics.
world in a lot better light than I do. So, anyway, one more 39. I apologize.
Germany and USSR signed 10-year non-aggression pact.
Ha ha ha! Wow.
Let's just say in dark times, I like to look as best I can over the horizon to see the daylight.
One could say that you've seen the horizon. You've been to the mountaintop.
There you go.
Oh. But yeah, that didn't last long.
No.
This was what was it? Just earlier, or yesterday, we spoke about them talking secretly about, or was that earlier? But
Well,
that must have been.
that's why that was one of Germany's biggest
Yeah.
mistakes.
Yeah, they were secretly dividing Poland, Germany and the Soviet Union, to initially invade, and they were supposed to be buddy, and then eventually, because both of them were chomping at the bit for the Baltic states,
Yeah.
Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia. Just Germany struck first. One of them would eventually, betray the other. Just
Well, unfortunately, Germany looked at Russia as an easy target, and they weren't well protected. Huge land mass, but
Yeah.
as far as an army, didn't compare to Germany. But he misread that whole thing, and weather got him, and everything else.
well, see, that was you want to talk about the stupidest of stupid decisions. Someone who was a veteran of the First World War,
Yeah.
who knew of the
Yeah.
horrors of two front wars, okay?
Opened it up.
Let's open up a land war with Russia before winter and open up as a second front. What could go wrong? Dumb. Just outright stupid.
Well, fortunately, I think by then he had the God mentality. Whatever I decide to do, we'll do it swimmingly. We'll get in 2 weeks. They're ours. And he's convinced that that's what's going to happen.
Oh yeah, because that works so well in Africa.
Yeah.
1942, transport number 23 departed with French Jews in Nazi Germany. Here we go. More Holocaust stuff. Disgusting. 1943, Philadelphia A's dropped AL record, tying 20th game in a row, win the second game. All right. 2 years later, 1945, Major League Baseball, Cleveland Indians ace Bob Feller returned from serving in the U.S. Navy to strike out 12. Wow.
Yeah, he was a great pitcher.
Great person overall. He went out, he served, he served this country, laid his life on the line, and thankfully came back. And then he came back I wouldn't say came back swinging, he came back throwing, because the other people came back swinging, and he struck 12 of them out, So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. 1949, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, otherwise known as NATO, came into effect.
Ooh, there
All
you go.
right, big stuff.
Yeah.
Which, let me
After
see.
World War II.
Yep. I got to scroll all the way up here to 1949 and see if this is even highlighted. Nope, it's not. They don't even highlight NATO. Like, our source. This is a major thing. But they of course talk about baseball. They highlight baseball for whatever reason. Like, we have a world event. Nobody cares. Oh, some guy coached a baseball game. Whoop-de-doo. Oh, highlighted. Okay. What do we got in 1950?
Ian Simpson named first black U.S. delegate to the UN.
All right.
Hoorah, yeah.
But once again, that makes me think that's 1950. That was really before.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, very big deal. But that was really before the civil rights movements. But whenever especially with what's going on today with DEI and everything, I look back and anything between 1960 to 1980, any first black here, first black there, that makes me wonder, and I really hope that they did earn it. But that makes me wonder where they just put there just to shut up the civil rights movement. Oh yeah, here you go. Oh, just stop rioting, shut up.
In the 50s, definitely not the case.
Yeah.
This had to be someone that was more than qualified to be there and got finally recognized. That's my interpretation. I don't know the underlying story, obviously.
Yeah. Well.
That's before it became corrupted, so to speak.
Yeah. So most likely Edith Sampson earned it.
Yeah,
and
sure.
I really hope I hope that, I hope all of those people earned it. But with what's going on today, I look back and I'm like, yeah, did they? It makes me sad.
Forget white or black. A lot of that, and not putting her in this category at all, but a lot of that is not what you know, but who you know.
Yeah.
These appointments in the day, and I have no idea.
That reigns incredibly true
but
today.
But even if that were the truth for her, kudos to her to be in the right environment to be known.
Yes, and you
I'm
bring
gonna give
up
her kudos no matter what.
You can bring up an excellent point. Like, even when I was a kid, I knew it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah.
You can be the dumbest idiot on the block. If you have a rich friend, you're going to be rich. That's just how it is. Well, what else do we got here in 1951?
Bill Veek's MLB St. Louis Browns hold Grandstand Managers Day. Coaches hold up place cards for fans to vote on strategy options. Browns defeat visiting A's 5-3.
That's really cool. They should be
It's like a video game.
Yeah, no, they should do that more often. They should allow the fans every now and then, hey, the fans get to choose the plays. Get some audience involvement. Immersion. That's the word I'm looking for. Bring some immersion.
There you go, yeah. Okay.
Like that one play we went to where Mom was cousin Eddie's tractor pull wife or something. All the audience, they had the positions, and everybody became part of the play. That was awesome.
Yeah.
So, 54.
International Amateur Athletic Federation recognizes Red China.
Oh, not good. Not good at all. You got another 54 here.
U.S. President Eisenhower signs Communist Control Act outlining the Communist Party at height of McCarthyism.
Well, there we go, McCarthyism.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know,
And that stems out of what you were saying, giving the FBI the power to monitor communism and all that. Here's the result.
yep. But see, you can say that that's the result, but at that same exact time, well, this is 54, so this is before the time, but then, the 180, shortly after that started happening, with your story about, seeing the people, talking, on the soapbox and then them booing off the conservative guy and everything. Like, it's always like, everybody wants revenge. Everybody wants, their slice of the pie.
Well, McCarthyism is the abuse of given power. And that's the fallacy of it.
Yeah. No. That tripped me up for a second there, King. I took a hit of my vape, and I exhaled, and then you started waving your arm, and I'm just like, wait, what? Do I have Bluetooth smoke now? That was weird. 1956, we have the first non-stop transcontinental helicopter flight arrived in Washington, D.C.
Helicopter.
Helicopter,
Jeez.
so one coast to the other.
Yeah.
Nice, non-stop.
Well, that's the key. Non-stop. I can't believe that with a helicopter.
So obviously must have been refueled in the air, which they
They could do. That's true.
yeah.
That's
We
very
spoke
true.
about the first in-air refueling, 1936. So
Wow.
yeah, actually yesterday. Let's see.
What country did it? Do you know? Remember?
I believe it was us, but 1936 first air refuel. It's crazy. This picture right here, 2 biplanes. Biplanes.
Yeah.
Like, now what's crazy is like right here, like obviously they didn't have the technology, just to they didn't have like the cone stuff that we.
Right.
So you had a guy in the back seat grab the hose that's just wailing in the air and then put it, in this contraption. So there's a guy in the back seat. You see the contraption here.
Yeah. Pretty ingenious, for the technology that they had.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. There's a photo. Here it is. You can kind of see the guy in the back seat holding it.
Yeah.
So, but that's crazy. I mean, this is what I'm talking about.
But if that's the actual picture, one's not a biplane.
Yeah, they are. They're both biplanes.
One's a double wing's a biplane.
They're both double wings.
I don't see the double wings on that one.
1, 2.
Is it there? Okay, I
One.
can't
Yep.
see it. Okay.
They
Hold
both
on a
got
second.
2 wings.
Okay.
Let me see if I can bigger
I
this
just
image.
can't.
There
Oh,
we
there
go.
it is. Okay.
Yeah, see? 1,
okay.
2.
I couldn't see it.
1, 2. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
wow.
Yeah. 1957, at the age of 17, future England soccer striker Jimmy Greaves scored on his first division debut for Chelsea against Tottenham Hotspur in a 1-1 draw at White Hart Lane. Okay.
Yeah.
59, Hiram L. Fong sworn in as first Chinese-American senator, while Daniel K. Inouye sworn in as first Japanese-American representative, both from Hawaii. Awesome.
Kudos to both
Awesome.
of them.
That is awesome.
Chinese and Japanese Americans. Oh,
And
yeah.
both
that
from
is
Hawaii.
cool.
Dude, this is like something out of a storybook.
Yeah.
This is awesome. Oh. And speaking about something out of a storybook, what do we got here in 1960? We've been talking about highs. Now we got a low in weather.
Oh. Ooh.
In 1960, 127. Wait, what?
Negative.
Negative 127 degrees Fahrenheit,
Jeez.
or negative 88 Celsius in Vostok, Antarctica. World record. Jesus.
Ooh.
That
That's cold.
that freezes you just thinking about it.
Oh, man.
Negative 127 degrees. Like, can you even imagine that?
No.
I
Like,
can't even
can't.
fathom that. That's
Like-
wild.
wow. And what else do we got here?
1961, Windward Islands Airways International Windware forms. What is that? Windware forms?
Win Air.
Winair.
So they're an air company, aircraft.
Oh.
At first, I read that as WinRAR. The
Yeah.
Yeah, the zip file thing. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is well before computers. So Win Air, shortened for Windward Islands Airways International, Nevada. Nevada? Is that what NV is?
Yeah.
No, it can't be, because it's a government-owned Dutch regional airline based in St. Maarten. So, NV is not Nevada, it's Dutch. Founded in 1961 by Georges Gurix and...
I don't know what else NV would
Italy.
be, but that's Nevada to me.
Yeah, I don't know. It's still around. Its fleet size is 6 and it has 12 destinations. Huh. So it's still around. They're very small.
Yeah,
but
very small.
They're still around.
It's amazing they're still around to be that small.
Yeah, we haven't been eaten up by something bigger by now, you know? No. Key people. Hans van de Velde, the CEO. That's the only key person. Like, okay. What else do we got?
Former South African Nazi leader John Has Volster becomes South Africa's Minister of Justice.
Huh. That's not good. But of course, the apartheid was going on and everything.
Yeah.
So former South African Nazi leader became the Minister of Justice.
Scary.
How is that justice? Like keep in mind, and there's a saying out there, apartheid was legal, Nazism was legal, fascism was legal, communism was legal. Just because it's legal doesn't mean it's right.
That's right.
You know? So all these people that are going around, I'm just following orders. Oh, it's legal. Go eat a sock. Do what's right, not what's legal. Do what's right, and eventually, what's right will be legal. So, you got one more 62 here.
1962, Los Angeles Dodger coach Leo Durocher suffers a near-fatal allergic reaction to penicillin injection while in the clubhouse at Polo Grounds, New York City.
Yikes.
Oh, jeez.
So, the wonder drug,
Yeah.
it might kill somebody, So,
Did we miss that Eisenhower highlighted one?
let's see here. No, that was the
Okay,
the one that I was arguing pro, and you were saying that was
okay.
not good.
Okay, yeah.
That was the one against communism and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
1963, we have the first 200-meter freestyle swum under 2 minutes by Don Scholender, 1 minute 58 seconds. All right. 63 as well. John Pinnell was the first person to pole vault 17 feet. Ooh.
It's up there.
Yeah. 1967, Liberia adopted national flag designed and hand-stitched by a committee of 7 women, chaired by Suzanne Elizabeth Lewis. All of the women were born in the U.S. Oh, wow. So that's interesting. 7 U.S.-based women designing and making the Liberian flag. Huh.
Yeah.
The Liberia national flag. Let me look that up here really quick. Let's see. Liberia. Liberia national flag. Let's see. Oh, well, now we know why. I wonder where they got their inspiration from. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I guess they have 11. So Liberia is a one-state, country, and they have 11 counties or something, maybe.
I have no idea. Not a clue.
Liberian national flag, purpose,
Of stripes. Know what you're doing?
and stripes. Yeah, I just want to know. The flag of Liberia. I guess it's just kind of not to be confused with the Lone Star State, a nickname for Texas. People confuse this for the Texas flag.
I don't think so.
Bears a close resemblance to the flag of the United States, representing Liberia's founding by former black slaves from the U.S. and the Caribbean. They are both part of the Stars and Stripes flag family. The Liberian flag has similar red and white stripes as well as a blue. We could see it, but why?
What does it represent? What do those stripes say?
Let's see here. A resolution was made establishing the first flag of Liberia during its time as a colony, which identified the flag the same as the United States, except with a white cross in the place of the Canton star. So they used to have a cross instead of a star. Okay, this just
Yeah, well.
yeah. Well, if anybody can tell
There's
us.
just maybe copy.
Oh, here we go. The 11 stripes symbolize the signatories of the Liberian Declaration of Independence, and the red and white symbolize courage and moral excellence. The white star represents the first independent republic in Africa. Ooh, that's big.
Yeah.
The first independent republic in Africa. Above the blue square representing the African continent, the Liberian flag is modeled after and resembles the U.S. flag because Liberia was founded, colonized, established, and controlled by free people of color and formerly enslaved black people from the United States and the Caribbean with the help and support of both the U.S. government and the American Colonization Society, ACS, a private organization dedicated to the removal of free people of color from across North America. Okay, that doesn't sound good. The removal of them? Or is this like a Back to Africa movement or something? Like, sometime after the African Americans began arriving in Liberia in 1822, they came to be identified as Americo-Liberians in an effort to separate them from native groups and enslaved Africans rescued from illegal slaving ports and ships by the U.S. Navy. So, wow.
I think they chose to go back,
Yeah.
and we supported them to eventually
Yeah.
help them eventually. So kudos. I'm
Yeah.
happy to hear that.
And like I don't think it was Liberia. Maybe it was, but maybe I don't know. But we were talking about it the other day. The first nation comprised of free black slaves, and I think it was some island.
Oh,
So
I don't know.
hold on a second. Island nation made of free black slaves. Back to Africa movement. Haiti, maybe, is what I'm thinking of. Sierra Leone, maybe. No, I think, yeah, no, Sierra Leone,
'Cause
Haiti.
Haiti isn't in Africa.
No. But outcome, creation and settlement of Sierra Leone and Liberia. So Liberia is sisters with Sierra Leone, and Haiti is its own thing, but they all share a similar origin.
Okay.
They all are founded
Yeah.
by freed slaves.
Free slaves. Okay.
So that is awesome. You know that they're free.
Yeah.
It sucks that they had to go
Yes.
through slavery, but hey, yeah. In 1968, France became the world's fifth thermonuclear power with a detonation on Mururoa Atoll in the South Pacific. So welcome to the nuclear family, France. 68 as well, Northern Ireland's first civil rights march held. Many more marches would be held over the following year, and loyalists organized counter-demonstrations to get the marches banned.
Boy, there was
Wow.
some real hate going on back then.
Still today,
Yeah.
the troubles are still going on today. They're still having Irish terrorist attacks, but that doesn't, draw the news, so they don't report it. But that's why I'm saying, the United Kingdom, is holding with as tight as a fist as they can onto the last vestiges of their empire, which is Scotland and Ireland. They just will not let it go, 1969, Peru nationalized U.S. oil interests.
They took them over
Yep.
and didn't get compensated. Usually, what that means.
Yep. What do we got here in 1970?
1970, bomb killed one at University of Wisconsin's Army Math Research Center in Madison.
Wow.
Hmm.
Who's bombing a math research center?
I don't know. Doesn't say.
That's wild. Crazy.
But someone lost their life over it.
Yeah. Well, this joke is awful, but at least they got their subtraction correct. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Anyways, 1972,
I don't mean to
Dennis
cause a
Smith
divide,
scored
So
first.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
We're killing your mic now.
Dennis Smith scored first one-day int century 103 versus Australia.
Ah,
It's got to be
it
cricket.
is. It is.
Lily.
Yep.
1972, Gordie Howe and Jean Bellevue inducted into the Ice Hockey Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Gordie Howe, one of the greats.
Yeah. Don't know the other one, but
Yeah.
Gordie Howe's a historic event as far as hockey goes.
Yeah, ice hockey legend.
Yeah.
Well, some would say how he got there. Well, I don't know. 1973, John Adams and his bass drum became a right field fixture in Cleveland Stadium. Huh. Okay, that's interesting. I gotta look that up here really quick. So there's like a statue or something, or
No.
John Adams, drummer, and his drum.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe it did.
But it's saying
In the seats, he must have brought his drums.
So is it just a fixture now? It's like there.
I don't know. So maybe they, in memory of him, they've put it out. I don't know.
Huh. I don't know. Let's see if.
It looks like they've made a statue out of it. You're right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what it sounds like. You know,
Yeah.
became a right field fixture in Cleveland Stadium. So they put a statue in the right field of him with his drum.
I guess so.
I don't know. I was trying to find a statue. It gave me pictures of him. Like.
Well, that one looks like kind of a statue, but I don't know. I don't know if
Maybe it's a statue. Yeah. What is this here? Cleveland baseball drummer Jad Adams set to enter Guardians Distinguished Hall of Fame. So there he is with his drum. Or I guess maybe instead of like a statue, he's part of the whole thing. He's a fixture, so he's there.
yeah.
Like that's his job now. You know, you get what I'm
Could be.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah, it
So-
could be.
1975, Davy Lopes stole his 38th consecutive base, then thrown out stealing. So it was illegal to steal,
No. Well, no, stolen base is a stolen base. It's legal.
but then thrown out stealing.
So it says he got his 38th consecutive, and then later in the game, it sounds like to me that he got caught stealing for a second time, so he didn't get his 39th.
Ah, okay. What do we got here in 75?
Yeah, Davy Lopez steals his 39th consecutive base, then thrown out stealing.
Yeah, we just read that.
Yeah. The Papadopoulos one.
Papadopoulos, Patakos, and Makarizos sentenced to death in Athens.
Ooh.
Huh.
Oh boy.
I wonder why. I'm gonna look that up here really quick. Oh, the Greek junta trials. Okay. So, and junta is a military dictatorship government.
Yeah.
That's what. So they must have been perpetrators of that to some degree. So that's why they were sentenced to death. Now we know. Oh, here we go. You might remember this one.
1979 musical film Rock and Roll High School, directed by Alan Iriscush and featuring the Ramones, premiering in New York City, released throughout the U.S. 20 days later.
Rock and Roll High School.
I remember the Ramones. I don't remember that movie.
And didn't they remake that with Jack Black? Or no, was that Rock and Roll High School or High School of Rock and Roll?
That was the High School of Rock or something.
Oh,
like that.
okay.
High School of Rock.
Or School of Rock.
School of Rock. There,
There we
you
go.
go.
School of Rock, yeah.
Yeah. Which I am never going to see. I never saw it, but I'm never going to see. After what Kyle said.
I don't know what Kyle said, but it wasn't that good of a movie.
Well, Kyle Gass, he said something really bad, involving the incident with Trump. So, yeah.
What does that have to do with the School of Rock?
Well, because his band member, Jack Black,
Yeah.
is a star in that movie.
Yeah.
Now I want nothing to do with that movie because of this incident.
So it was Jack Black that made the incident? You've lost me.
Jack Black and Kyle Gass are in the band Tenacious D. So
Oh,
they're
okay,
bandmates.
okay.
And they were on stage on some concerts. I would play the clip, but
no.
it's awful.
I know nothing about Jack Black's band.
What
so.
Kyle said on stage is just absolutely deplorable, and he should be run out of every town for the rest of history.
Okay,
for
leave it
that.
at that.
So, and I'm because of his adjacency to Jack Black, I'm never going to see anything involving Jack Black.
Okay, gotcha.
So, yeah. Anyway, what else do we got here? We got 3 1979s. If you don't mind, I'm going to take these. NFL fans, specifically 60,916 of them, chose the old Patriots logo over the new.
Yeah.
So that should be a real tip towards corporate America. Stop changing stuff. Enough. The people like what they like. Stop changing crap. You know, especially like I go to the
But
market.
the new one's so much better than the old one.
Well, according to 60,000, almost 61,000, they disagree, and I'm pretty sure their
Well,
vote
any
matters.
change. I would probably
Yeah.
vote against any change if I was a purist Patriots fan.
Well, you're also a boomer. You know, your generation is known to not want any type of change. Oh, them computer newfangled technology, get off my lawn. Arr. I'm going to wear my pants up to my earlobes.
Oh, man.
1979, rock band The Cars played concert at the Woolman Rink in New York City Central Park. You ever heard of The Cars?
Yeah.
Okay, that's why I brought it in here. Cause
Okay.
I knew you were going to be in here today, and that's like 90% of the reason why this article is even in here.
Yeah.
You know, just to see if you knew about it, if you had any stories.
No.
You know?
No, I just know of them. That's all.
79 as well. UN's Vienna office began issuing postage stamps. I believe one day, because we spoke about UN office in Vienna opening yesterday.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not sure if that's same, like if it was one after the other or what. What do we got here in 81?
81, American Charles Chapman becomes first black to swim English Channel.
Not to be confused with Charlie Chaplin,
Ah.
Charles Chaplin, Charlie Chaplin, Oh, we got another Chapman here. Another 81?
81, Mark David Chapman is sentenced to 20 years in life for John Lennon's murder.
Oh, wow.
Ah.
Didn't recognize the name.
I was born in 81.
Yeah. So,
Let's hope he didn't get out in 10 years.
Yoko Ono's Hitman, right here. Oh, yeah. 1982.
Casey's Johns Wathen steals 31st en route to 36th base for catcher's record.
Oh, catcher stealing bases.
So we'll be hearing.
Wow.
They aren't generally known for their speed.
I know. Well, speed with the feet.
Yeah.
They can be speedy with the hands,
Yeah. Well,
Like-
stolen bases with your feet.
Yeah. Or what if they're running around on their hands, like...
Actually, it's not with your feet. It's how well you learn to get the jump on the catcher
Yeah.
or the pitcher, I guess.
Yeah. 1983, Cincinnati Red Pete Rose ended consecutive games played streak at 745.
Put him in the Hall of Fame as a player, please.
I can't
He
argue.
has accomplishments. Yes,
Yeah.
he screwed up as a manager and he's been banned from baseball.
And he was
fine.
a bad human
But let's
being.
don't ignore history.
Yeah. We got to give
Yeah.
credit where credit is due.
Put him in as a player only.
I mean, you want to talk about, giving people credit where credit is due. Who invented Volkswagen? Who invented the concept of freeways?
Who?
One of the worst human beings to ever exist on the face of this earth? Adolf Hitler.
He didn't exactly invent it. But
Well,
maybe
he was
his-
behind the whole
Yes,
thing.
Yes,
He
yes.
Volkswagen in German stands for people's car.
People's car,
He
Demanded that they make a people's car for the people.
He idolized Henry
didn't- yeah.
Ford in the Model T, and he wanted to bring all that because the Model T that revolutionized, that brought the Industrial Revolution to the common person, that allowed us mobility,
Yeah.
and he wanted that greatness for Germany.
Yes.
And
No, I get what
he
you're saying.
brought it.
Okay.
He brought that greatness to Germany, as well as the Autobahn, the whole concept of freeways. That's why after
He mandated for him to come up with his car, and they did.
But what was it, 56 or so, like the Great Freeway thing that we did, across the nation?
Yeah.
You know-
Yeah, that was Eisenhower.
Yeah, Eisenhower took it right out of Hitler's playbook.
Gotcha. Okay.
And our military, Operation Desert Storm, once again, right out of Hitler's playbook, the Blitzkrieg.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Give credit where credit is due. It's credit from a bad source, but hey, it's still credit. So, 1984, Pat Bradley set LPGA record for 9 holes with a 28 during second round of Columbia Savings National at Green Gables Country Club, Denver, Colorado. I know someone who lives in that general area. I think. I don't know. 1985. What do we got?
STS 51 one mission scrubbed in T5M because of bad weather.
T minus 5 minutes.
Rocket.
Yeah.
T minus 5 minutes.
Yep. So 5 minutes till takeoff. And, like, can you imagine, like, the decision? You're like, do we scrub it and waste all these millions of dollars, or do we go for it and waste all these millions of dollars potentially? Like.
Yeah.
It's so easy to sit there and mock them at, like, there's been scrubs, literally T minus 1 second.
Yeah.
Scrub it.
Well, if it's not perfect, they're going to scrub it.
Yeah. 1987. Hey, that's the year I was born.
Announcement of possible Martian tornadoes. Ooh, Martian tornadoes.
Yeah. So
That sounds like a sci-fi movie.
Dude, they should have like Mars tornadoes or something. Or they should have Alien Tornado, where
Mars
like the
tornadoes.
They should have like a movie called Alien Tornado, in which the Martian tornadoes gain sentience and like can't come to Earth and like start invading us. Like we could have like a alien wind invasion. Like that would be hilarious.
Yes.
You got 289s here.
89 British brewery Bass buys Holiday Inn hotel chain.
Huh.
Oh,
That's weird.
okay.
A British brewery bought the Holiday Inn hotel chain. I wonder if they still own them.
Bass. Oh, Bass is
Bass.
the name of the company.
Bass. Yeah.
British brewery
They probably sold it to someone.
Bass.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Let's look this up here really quick. Holiday Inn hotel chain, because it should tell us their parent company.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Holiday Inn.
Who owns it?
Company type industry hotels founded yada yada. Founder headquarters area served. Parents Bass Brewery. They're still owned. Actually no until 2000. So then 6 Continents bought them until 2003. Now they're owned by IHG Hotels and Resorts from 2003 to present.
Okay.
So Bass Brewery
Sold it in 2000.
yeah. Well, like so Holiday Inn became a company.
Yeah.
And then the first time they sold themselves and not be owned was to Bass Brewery in 1988 to 2000. So we got 12 years, 6 Continents with 3, and IGH, with 17, 18, 19, 20, 24, no, 21 years and counting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So between all of them, Bass Brewery, a beer company, is second longest holding. Had owned a hotel chain. That's weird. Now, it's really interesting that you should bring up what you said about Pete Rose, because you're about to have a field day. So, what do we got here in 75? Not 75, in 89 as well. King.
Pete Rose is suspended from baseball for life gambling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here we go.
Absolutely should have been.
Yeah.
Suspended for life is one thing.
Yeah.
Ignoring history is another.
Yes. Yep. 1990, 3,500 peacekeepers arrive in Liberia. Yeah.
Yeah.
Peace. Yeah. So, yeah. They the terminology peacekeepers are here to keep the peace. Yeah. Whose peace?
Yeah.
So, 1990 as well. Iraqi troops surrounded the U.S. and other embassy. What?
So, I'm the government and I'm here to help.
Okay, Ronnie.
Yeah. Look at my camera. Look at my face. I'm the government.
Yeah.
1990 as well. Iraqi troops surrounded the U.S. and other embassies in Kuwait City. Yikes.
Not good.
I don't know. 1991, Mikhail Gorbachev resigns as head of the USSR Communist Party.
Yeah.
And in 1991, and this is weird because they had this last year, but they don't have this in our main source this year. No, they don't have it. Taiwan captured its 15th Little League World Series, 11-0.
Woohoo.
Wow.
Congrats to Taiwan.
Yep.
Back in the day.
Yep. 1991 as well, Ukraine declared independence from the USSR. That's really topical because they're trying to get them back.
Yeah.
So, and it's really interesting. Apparently, now the war has shifted. Ukraine is now taking Russian land.
They have attacked in
Kiev,
some of
right?
Kiev's.
Not Kiev.
Kiev's in
Ukraine. Kiev's
okay.
No.
They're attacking
Kursk. Kursk.
Okay, I don't know where they are, but they're trying to make some inroads. But Russia still has captured and holds control over 2 nuclear power plants.
Yeah, and didn't they capture Chernobyl as well?
I believe so.
Yeah, that's scary.
Although it's not active.
Let's hope not.
Yeah. Well, it's active, all
Well,
right.
yeah. Yeah, active in a bad way.
Yeah.
1992, we have the first structural steel beams are erected at Jacobs Field, now Progressive Field, baseball stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Okay, so so the structure reinforce the stands and everything. Which, by the way, that just randomly reminded me. Let's see here. Stadium in Russia, extra seats. Let's see if I can find this here. Oh yeah, here we go. So the Russian stadium didn't meet FIFA's regulation on capacity, so they added 18,000 seats in the most terrifying way possible. So
Oh, jeez, look at that. Oh, I'm going to sit out there, Russian made especially. Yeah,
hell no.
Let me buy a seat to that area.
Oh my god.
God.
And look at that. They just cut out that entire, like,
Yeah.
you can see into the field. And it's just, oh my god.
Are you kidding me?
Wow. Hey.
That's where all the Russians are gonna sit,
Yeah.
because they don't give a fuck. I don't know if you've ever seen Russian videos of them doing like dangerous stuff, but yeah, I don't think a Russian would care.
No. No. They 1992 as well, diplomatic relations are established between the People's Republic of China and South Korea. Huh.
Okay,
All right.
that's huge.
Yeah. We got 3 more 92s if you want to take them, Sir King.
First structural steel beam are erected at Jacobs Field, now Progressive Field, baseball stadium in Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah. We're up ahead. We're now in Hurricane
Did you?
Andrews. Yeah.
Okay. There we go. Hurricane Andrew hit South Florida, making it landfall at Elliott Key and later Homestead. 44 die and $25 billion in damage is recorded.
Yikes.
Oof.
Yeah. But I mean, those 44 people, I think, would have lived if they, instead of used Hurricane Andrew, they used Hurricane, it's going to kill you, get the hell out of town now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hurricane Mary, Hurricane Margaret, Hurricane Deafening. No, give it Hurricane Death. Like Hurricane Monster, Hurricane Move. Give it names that, really emphasize, the nature of the situation. Nobody cares about, Margaret.
But traditionally, they start the hurricane season alphabetically and name them after somebody, not events, not Hurricane Death, but Hurricane Andrew. They're naming them after people. They're using people names. That's the tradition of hurricanes.
Okay, why not Hurricane Alexander? As in Alexander the Great, he
Well, they may
conquered
have
half
already
the
used
world.
it. I don't know. They try to use names that are not used yet.
I'm just saying, lives.
Are you mad they haven't used your name yet, Alexander?
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, seriously.
Because we know you're full of hot air.
Where's my
so-
Hurricane Tim at?
Yeah, I know, right? But no,
Oh,
seriously,
boy, that's there.
like psychologically, I believe a lot of lives could actually be saved if we change the naming system. Like, legitimately, like. Anyway,
Not naming them.
Yeah, but then all of a sudden someone comes up with Hurricane Breeze. That's a big mistake.
Well,
Hurricane,
Just saying,
like,
you could use the
don't they
wrong
have a
word.
rating system for them? Like
yeah,
earthquakes?
yeah. Well, yeah, they do categories.
Why don't they
Yeah.
say?
The Category 5.
I mean, we don't name fucking earthquakes.
Yeah, true.
Well, earthquakes don't stick
The
around
earthquake
for a
was
week either.
7.2. I mean, why don't we do that? Like the hurricane. Hurricane 7.5 is on its way. You better get out of the way.
Yeah, well, Hurricane
The
7.5.
difference between an earthquake, you never know when it's going to hit, and bam, it's there, so now we tell you what it was.
Yeah,
Hurricanes, we know they're coming.
yeah. Well, we do have some predictive stuff with earthquakes, so
True.
to some minor degree. I've got one more 92 here.
I do agree with you on the psychological thing. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it makes it less fearable
Well, I mean,
by naming it.
like that one Ron White stand-up. He was talking about that 89-year-old guy who, to prove a point, he was going to tie himself to his fence during a Category 5 hurricane or something. And it's just like, it's not that the wind is blowing, it's what the wind is blowing. If you get hit by a Volvo,
Yes.
it doesn't matter how many crunches you did in the morning, Jack. You know? Like, move! Like,
But we've softened language. George Carlin
yeah, the
does
euphemistic
a whole bit on that. Shell shock.
battle fatigue, operational exhaustion, and post-traumatic stress disorder. You know? Yeah, right, like
Soften language.
instead of toilet paper, it's bathroom tissue. Instead of motor homes, they're motor lodges. You know? Instead of divorce, they're troubled relationships. It's still crap. Like, what else do we got? Cleveland? NFL Cleveland?
NFL Cleveland Browns suffered their worst preseason loss, 56-3 to the Vikings.
Why do they have preseason crap in there?
The Vikings. Wait, you can say they got plundered?
It's just hilarious how much they lost.
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
Speaking of the Vikings, did you know that there's a Vikings, the sports team joke in the first Pokemon movie?
Yeah.
Like, let's see if I can find it really quick. Hold on a
Yeah.
second. I wanted to save that. Hold on. Pokemon movie Vikings joke. It's hilarious. Here we go.
Strong. 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 Oh, I think I'm gonna have one.
I didn't know Vikings still existed.
They mostly live in Minnesota.
Pokemon on point.
Oh boy.
They mostly live in Minnesota. I didn't get that when I was a kid. I'm just like, what the hell? How are Vikings in Minnesota? There's nothing to plunder there. Like, oh man. Uno Mas 92.
Uh, 92. The Screw magazine superimposed a gun sight over a picture of Larry Flint.
Were you talking about Screw magazine
That was
earlier
that
today?
news.
No.
What, you were talking about some magazine.
Look.
Look. Okay.
Way different.
Okay. Well, it's a look, screw, like, it's one word.
Wow.
I don't
Way
know.
different magazines. Trust me.
93, Mars Observer came closest to Mars. Okay, so to observe it, okay. 94, Israel and PLO initiated accord giving autonomy to Palestinians in West Bank in education, health, taxation, social welfare, and tourism. So they gave back what they took. How nice. 95, a fire that wiped 6,000 acres began in Hamptons and Long Island. That's not a small fire right there. 6,000 acres?
Yeah.
Though out here it's nothing. In California,
True.
That's
true.
Although out here 6,000 could turn into 600,000 like that, you know?
That's the problem.
So, I mean, once again, it's just I really want to enforce the point. Only the brave scene.
That's
like-
not California, though.
Well, still, like, there's this not this scene here, this scene, and I strongly suggest anybody who hasn't seen this to watch this. Let's see if I can see it. Here we go.
Deployment time right here, right now. Let's go. Deployment time right now.
Breaking in on Arizona 16, Granite Mountain Hot Shots. We are in front of the flaming front.
Look how fast that's moving. I mean, let me put this back here. So just let's play a little game. All right. I'm gonna pause this. Keep your eye right here. All right. Now let's watch how fast the flames move. So keep your eye there, and you'll see how fast the flames go past your perception. You're already behind.
Yeah.
Within a second, a football field.
Oh, yeah.
Like-
they move like crazy.
It's crazy. Fire is nothing to take lightly. So.
Oh yeah.
1995 as well. Microsoft debut, Windows 95. All right. 97, Gordon Spence discovered 2 to the power of 2,976,221 minus 1, the 36 known Mersenne prime.
I have no idea what that is.
I don't know either, but hey,
Way over my head.
discovered some mathematical quantum formula. I don't know, but cool. This one scares the hell out of me. 1998, the first RFID human implantation tested at the in the United Kingdom. So chipping, you're putting a microchip in you to scan, like
Yeah.
RFID chips. So they're chipping you.
Yeah.
Yikes. So yeah, and we just saw King and I saw last night the guy who was paralyzed had Neuralink put in his brain.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
scary.
man.
Like,
He can't play with normal people anymore, like in Call of Duty.
oh, I wasn't even talking about.
Because
Go ahead.
no, but anyways, he hasn't. He's able to control it with his little chippy up there instead of using a controller. And he says he can no longer play with anybody anywhere because it's real time in his head
Yeah.
instead of the message doesn't have to go through his hands. He's just right there, and it's
Yeah.
perfect controller. So yeah, he's like everybody accuses him of cheating, and well, I mean he is. So yeah.
But yeah,
it's-
it's getting rid of the microseconds between
Yeah.
the order going from the
the hands, yeah.
you're visually seeing, you're processing, you're formulating a response, you're sending it, it gets to the hand, and then it goes. That's imperceptible to us,
Yeah.
but in the gaming world, that's all that's needed. Like,
It puts you way ahead.
yeah, and what
way ahead.
what
Yeah.
King is saying here is essentially he's playing with a built-in aimbot. So all he has to do
Yeah.
is
It's a
look.
built-in aimbot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is look. He doesn't have to control to look. It's just
He doesn't
it's
need
there.
that nanosecond.
Yeah. But what I'm talking about, the other one is it showed because they had him in a scanner. It showed them putting the tube up in his brain and everything, and then as they pull it out, it releases this mesh that adheres and it fuses with your brain and everything. And now he has this stuff fused in his brain, and it's just I don't want stuff fused into my brain,
No.
Like
But what does it do for him?
things
him
like
motor
this.
skill?
No, it allows him to control. What I'm specifically talking about. This other video was he was being instructed. It's okay, focus on the icon. Now focus on now just think about clicking it, and then it clicks it. You just did your first mental click.
I got you.
Wow. You just he thought about it.
He's a paraplegic or something.
He
in the
was.
beginning. Oh, he is.
He is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but he's paralyzed from the neck down. He can't control anything.
Right.
But now he can operate on a computer, and he's sitting there, and he's thinking, and he's writing books. He's thinking, and he's writing books.
Yeah. That's incredibly scary.
It's not that he's thinking and he's typing in a note.
Right.
He's just thinking as the words are coming out of my mouth, and you viewer are processing it. Now the computer in the same way is processing direct thought.
Probably computes much faster than the words could come out of your mouth.
Yeah.
You can think
Oh,
much quicker.
yeah,
than
much
you can
faster.
speak.
Yes.
Now, I wonder when the switch will be turned, when the computers will control the person. When, very much
Flip
like,
the switch.
the incident in Spider-Man 2, the inhibitor chip, when will we think, these are our own thoughts, but they're not. The Doc Ock, he got controlled by his creation.
When will they put it in reverse? Yeah.
Yeah, if it hasn't already been.
Yeah.
If that's not already, plan A to begin with. I mean, keep in mind, Elon Musk, he wants to put a chip in the brain. He uses Chinese slave labor, and he portrays himself as a hero. All right? And he says that he grew up poor despite his parents owning an emerald farm. And practically all of his businesses are paid by your tax dollars, government subsidies. He's making money off of your tax dollars. Is he really a man of the people? I don't think so. And he wants to put a chip in your brain. Uh-huh. All right. Yeah.
You're referring to the government grants he got for his various companies.
Yes.
That's why he started. He looked to see where free money was from, and I can make a business out of that.
Yep.
Which was car, rockets and so forth. Yeah.
But see, what's interesting is that like I don't see all of the taxpayer investments. I don't see them getting any of their investment back. You know,
Well, they do in jobs created. The point is,
jobs created
is-
in China.
well, that's the downside. They also make cars here.
No, they don't.
They don't make them in California anymore. Yes, they do. They still make them in.
Well, they probably assemble them, but
in,
all the product,
Austin. He's down in Austin, so
all the components are probably still made offshore. You
Well,
know, and
I
then they
don't
just
I don't
you
know the
put it-
details.
You know, so
I don't know.
Is it just yeah?
anyway, let's see here. What do we got in the year 2000?
In the year 2000.
In the year 2000.
Argon fluorohydrate, the first argon compound ever known, is discovered at University of Helsinki by Finnish scientists.
Helsinki.
What is Helsinki?
So what is this?
What is fluorohydrate?
Well, argon is a gas, right? Like it's I believe it's used in neon. So let's see here. Is an inorganic compound with a chemical formula, blah blah. Okay, discovery synthesis references.
What's it do?
It's not telling me. Okay, what does? Damn it. Does do images? Oh, argon fluoride. Kim Europe.
is
You're
it-
just telling me about synthesization here. Okay, the website's not loading. It's elements. The chemical was synthesized. Okay, discovery. But it's not telling me what it does. It's just telling me what it is. And there's no other. So okay.
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it either.
So if anyone watching knows anything about this, let us know in the comments section. That'd be wonderful. What else do we got here? 2001.
Microsoft releases the two manufacturing software for Windows XP. Yay!
Ah,
That's my favorite.
I liked XP.
XP was great.
Yeah. You know, Vista wasn't bad. If people give it shit, I don't really remember it. Like, all I know is I don't like 10. I like 11. You know, I don't like all this new crap. Like,
Vista was certainly given a bad name in the
XP
day.
and 7 were my favorite.
one of my favorite Windows operating system jokes, though, of course, you know, once again, IT crowd. Well, Vista. Let's see here. Here we go. Trying to find a quick one.
Hello, Joe.
Oh, we're gonna die.
We're going to die. Anyway, what else do we got? 2004.
Passengers die after 2 airlines explode after flying out of the Dormadovo International Airport near Moscow. The explosions were caused by suicide bombers, reported to be female, from the Russian Republic of Czechia.
Yeah, I remember
Oh
that.
wow. Huh. Dang. 2004, future 8-time Olympic gold medal winner Usain Bolt of Jamaica finished 5th in his 200-meter heat in 21.05 seconds, I believe, failing to qualify for the second round at the Athens Olympics. So this is before he became like a big guy, you know, big hit. On his way there, right? Like Usain Bolt, you know,
No.
became famous like 2008 later on, right?
It says future. Oh, future.
Future
8
8-time,
Okay, yeah, you're right.
So this is on his way up.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
he failed to qualify you know,
Yeah.
for the second round.
Yeah,
So this is on his way.
yeah.
2006, after signing a one-day contract with the San Francisco 49ers, Jerry Rice officially retired from the NFL. So I wonder, like, if he just needed one more day for some pension or something, you know?
I don't
like,
know. Yeah.
And they've done a couple
Something
things
like
like that here and there.
Yeah.
Like I love it. I love it when they do things like that. Like, you know, like, I don't remember who it was, but like they had some guy sign on and just exist. Like they didn't have him on the field. They just had him there as part of the team for like a couple weeks just to, you know, finish up the last docket of his requirement or something like that. You know, things like that have happened quite often in
I've known
sports.
people
and it's
that
awesome.
that have had companies or themselves the last 5 or 8 quarters they give themselves a huge amount of money so they can collect Social Security for the rest of their lives. And it's all based on the last 5 or 6 quarters.
Well, that's
whatever it is.
corruption right there.
Well, that's taking advantage of the system.
Yeah. Well, that's taking something for yourself. This is something done for other people.
Or for
to
other
help them
people.
out.
Well, no, I'm not saying they did it for
Oh,
themselves. They may have
oh.
done it for an employee or something. Valued employee, they're going to retire. Well, for the next 6 quarters, we're going to do this for you, type of thing. But that's still not right.
Yeah.
It's not what it's meant to do.
Yeah. 2006, the International Astronomical Union, the IAU, redefined the term planet such that Pluto is considered a dwarf planet.
Pissed
Pluto
me
is
off.
still a
Pluto is
planet.
Pluto. They'll never change my mind.
Pluto
I don't
is
care
still
what
a
they
planet.
do. with it.
Team Jerry! Team Jerry!
Team
Pluto!
Jerry.
Yeah. King knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
2008, Samuel Wanisru became first Kenyan to win the men's Olympic marathon in Beijing. Won in Olympic record time. Silver medalist Joao de Garib of Morocco, also faster than OR. I don't know who OR is. Original record, I believe. Yet 44 seconds behind. Okay, so they were both faster than the original record, but this other guy was 44 seconds later.
You know, when you
So-
break an Olympic record, it's kind of cool because you know
Yeah.
it will stand for at least 4 years.
Yeah. But as a historian, going through research writing, the amount of broken records, especially in sports, is ridiculous. And if I added just half of those in, I would have another 5 pages.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
2008. What do we got? We got 3 of them. Perfect. Speaking of Olympics, your turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Summer Olympics in Beijing becomes the most watched event in TV ever. Nearly 5 billion, 70% of the world's population, and it's been steadily declining ever since.
Yeah. Well, that makes me wonder. Was that that's practically every television that has to be owned, because how much of the world's population actually owns a TV? I didn't even realize 70% could watch.
Yeah.
How do they calculate the people watching the TVs in the windows?
Is this misleading too?
Yeah.
5 billion people watch. Is that over the entire games? So you didn't have 5 billion people watching at once.
So you're talking about repeats?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. I'm sure it would be just
Maybe.
the number of eyes on each deal.
Yeah.
Totaled up to 5 billion. So it's really misleading on what it really
You
means.
can really, without fudge some numbers and math for your own gain.
Oh yeah, well whatever the numbers are, they're huge.
Yeah. What else do we got?
Beijing was pretty popular, I remember.
Yeah. Yeah, mainly because of that stupid net, arena thing.
Yeah.
That was a big thing.
The bird's nest.
Yep.
Yeah. Star-studded American men's basketball team led by the likes of LeBron James,
Boo.
Chris Paul, and Kobe Bryant
Yay.
win the gold medal at Beijing's Olympics because, duh,
Yeah.
with a relative narrow 118 to 107 win over Spain.
Sorry, I just had to interject with my boo and yay. Boo for LeBron James and yay for Kobe Bryant. Because Kobe was great. And rest in
Yeah.
peace.
LeBron James is great too.
LeBron James is a piece of crap.
Well, not as a basketball player, he's not.
Well,
As a teammate, yes, but
as a
anyway.
human being.
2008, 2019 Summer Olympics. Oh, wait, 2009?
29.
Yeah. 20. Yeah, all right. Yeah, 29 Summer Olympic Games. Thank you, Final Fantasy. Close for the Beijing National Stadium.
Yeah, your generation learned Roman numerals off of the Super Bowl. Our generation learned it from Final Fantasy. Although I actually learned it from the giant clock in the living room.
Learning your Roman numerals at 1,
Learning
Super
my
Bowl
what?
1,
Learning
Roman numerals.
My Roman numerals?
I know I can't talk, but you're not learning a whole lot with even 4. Oh, that's a V. Great. 5 is a V.
You just screwed it up.
I know. You didn't learn a whole lot, back in the first basic Super Bowls. What I'm getting at is I saw the first one, Super Bowl 1.
This is for. You want to know
When
why?
it gets to the
This is
V's, that's when it
5.
starts to
IV.
get confusing to me.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's why 5 is a V.
Oh, you're making
Yeah,
a V
but-
there, not
No,
a
no,
2.
literally, Roman numerals are based off of your hands.
Hand gestures.
1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, and then 5. 5 is the V, and 10 is 2 5s, one on top of another. That's
Yeah.
why it's an X. And then now you start getting into the crazier stuff. That's when they bring in M and
Yeah.
you know.
Oh
That's,
God.
yeah.
Yes.
And
Well,
C.
those numbers get so darn long.
Well, M I believe stands for millennium. C stands for century. You know.
Yeah.
So, we don't need a decade. That's 10.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. 2009, Thailand's GDP. What is GDP? Gross something.
Gross domestic product.
Thank you. Grew 2.3 in 2009 second quarter, technically leaving the recession. Okay, that's cool. Good on Thailand. 2011, Steve Jobs resigned as CEO of Apple Inc. and is succeeded by Tim Cook as a result of his illness.
You've got super corporation in there with Tim,
Yeah,
Tim Cook.
Yeah. 2012, a U.S. jury in California found that Samsung is guilty of patent infringement and awarded over $1 billion in damages to Apple. Meanwhile, in a South Korea court, both are found guilty of patent infringement. Yeah. So South Korea is actually more just than us. You know, both Apple and Samsung need to go. Google, Amazon, all of them, they need to go. You know, away. What do we got here in 2014? 13, sorry.
2013, 30 people are killed in a gang battle involving flamethrowers in Palmosa prison, Bolivia. Oh, wow.
30 people are killed in a gang battle in a prison that had flamethrowers.
What does that tell
How
you?
the hell do you get a flamethrower in prison? How do you even make one?
I
Like,
don't know.
how do you...
Maybe they didn't make them. That's how they got them. Maybe they did make them.
I mean, like, did he
I'm
steal...
taking metal shop.
You know what I mean? Like, you know... Like, that's how a lot of, you know, the shanks get built, how they...
Yeah.
How the people who escaped Alcatraz, you know, made their, their doppelgangers, you know, and all that stuff. Like, yeah, like they literally they made like paper mache heads, and then they took, you know, clippings off of the floor of the barbershop and glued the hair on, you know, like the ingenuity and craftsmanship
Yeah.
and whatnot.
No, I get that.
It was just like,
It's amazing.
Who could steal an acetylene torch? You know, like that's not something you could walk out of the shop with in a prison, you know, easily.
You wouldn't think so.
Well, what else do we got here?
2014, Nurse William Cooley flies back to the UK for emergency treatment after contacting Ebola virus after attempting to treat patients in Sierra Leone.
Now, time out. Okay, let's think about this. I'm going to reread this and let's put our thinking caps on. All right. Nurse William Pooley flew back to the UK for emergency treatment after contracting Ebola virus after attempting to treat patients in Sierra Leone.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember this.
So she went there to treat the patients, but then she had to come back. So what the hell did she go there with?
Wow. Yeah.
Apparently,
Like,
obviously
she's there to
it's-
fucking treat the sorry to interrupt, but she's there to treat the very thing she caught, and then she had to come back. So that makes me wonder, are they really there to treat them? Why couldn't they treat her there if that was the reason why she got the disease she's there to treat? So why didn't they have the tools on hand
Well, she
right
went down
there?
there with limited capacity to treat them.
Doesn't matter.
So they said, we got to bring her back to full capacity, which you can really get the full treatment.
So
Yeah.
that just tells me that they're not fully treating them.
Well, they're doing
No,
the best they can.
obviously,
Are they?
it's that the system there
I
isn't going to
remember
be
when that happened, yeah.
as good.
And they're trying to save her life at that point.
Well, I'm just saying, if you have the funds to send somebody back and then bring them back again, then you have the funds to send a little bit more, you know, medical stuff to begin with. You know, I'm sorry, like this just seems self-defeating here. So
I don't know.
anyway,
I think I'm thinking they'd probably do that to save money. If it did cost less, they would do it. You know.
I don't know. It just seems self-defeating to me. Oh,
It does, but I mean, what do we know about them? It's all about the numbers, man.
yeah.
They probably ran the numbers, or like how the car, like you know that scene in Fight Club. If there's a scene in Fight Club where he's talking about how it's just easier to pay out people that get into car accidents than it is to replace a bolt or a screw that could, or a little tiny gadget that would have to be put in every single car. All the amount that, like they would have to do. First, they had to do a recall, and then they had to put all the parts in for all the cars. And then they had to put that part in for future cars. So it's easier to just pay people out when they get into a car accident than it is to replace and make it safe, you know?
So it's easier to give someone $1 million than it is to have a recall at $1 billion.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they look at the numbers, say, pay her, or him, or who, or what.
But see, in that vein of thinking, let's get a little bit more extreme. In China, people like if you're involved in a car accident in China, there is a very high chance that they'll put it in a reverse and double tap you to make sure that you die. Because in China, there's a law, if you hit somebody with a car, now you have to pay all of their medical bills, not just anything involving the accident, but any medical bill for the rest of that victim's life is now on your wallet. So it's you know, that same mentality that you just said, King, to a whole other extreme level. It's better to just double tap and kill them to make sure that they're dead and serve some jail time than pay off their medical bill for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
You know? How extreme do you want to make it? What is culturally
I'm not
acceptable?
saying it's good or anything.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
just
that's
saying
just the mentality of it, is all we're saying, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying you're saying anything. I'm just saying, you know, taking that mentality and bringing it to the next level. Of course, China, you know. So
it's what I would do in
Insurance
Minecraft.
is always a numbers game.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
2015, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg announced that for the first time, 1 billion people logged on to Facebook. However, those were mostly bots, you know. So, what a number fudger. So, 2015 as well, physicist Stephen Hawking presented a new theory on black holes at a lecture at the KTH Royal Institute of Technology in Stockholm. All right. 2016, 6.2 magnitude earthquake struck central Italy, northeast of Rome, killing 268, injuring an additional 400. Yikes, 6.2. And that's nothing to sneeze at.
No, it's not.
Yeah. And we also have astronomers announced discovery of Earth-like planet named Proxima b, orbiting star Proxima Centauri. I know about Proxima Centauri.
Earth-like.
Yeah, Earth-like. So, yeah. 2017, what do we got?
2017 largest ever lottery jackpot wins in the U.S. 758.7 million, won by Mavis Wanchicks of Massachusetts in the U.S. Powerball jackpot.
And you and
All to
I.
herself.
Yeah. Now they've won over $1 billion.
Yeah. I'm sorry, what were you going to say, King?
I said all that to herself.
Oh.
Usually, I mean, a lot of the times it's like split amongst a few people, but sheesh.
Yeah. Well, you know, did she choose a lump sum? Did she choose installments? You know?
Yeah, you can
like,
take it over 30 years, or you can take cash about half of that, and then you get taxed after that, so you're going to end up with about $300,000 out of almost 800.
Yeah. Now I have an interesting lottery story. Like, you know, at the Quickie Marts they have that, you know, big hunk of plastic thing, and it shows you, like, you know, where the
amounts,
where the lottery is at. You know what I'm talking about, King?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember when the Mega Millions got to $1 billion?
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't enough digits on the thing, so in my Quickie Mart, they actually literally wrote down the number because there wasn't enough digits to display. They had to analog over the digital.
$1 billion.
Yeah. Now I learned something new. Speaking of the lottery, I learned something new earlier today.
Yeah.
Because you know, the Loon and I, we each got, you know, a Mega Million ticket.
Because it's $500 million.
Yeah, it's over.
And we've forgotten to look at our numbers,
Well,
so that's how much we think we won.
Well, you know, it's not about that. And I'm, you know,
Yeah.
the point I'm trying to make is you educated me about the ability to split it. Because, like, you know, like because I was saying, like, you know, if I won, you know, like, you know, I'd like to give it to you, you know, but then, like, you know, how will you decide it? Will you make it a lump sum, or will you take it in installments? If I win the lottery, obviously, you know, I'll take it as installments. But later on in age, people more often, you know, go with a lump sum.
Most
you know.
people go with a lump sum.
Yeah, well,
just to get it. You never know when the lottery's going to go broke, and whoops, you don't get paid anymore.
well, lottery will never go broke because, you know, idiot tax.
Sure.
There's always going to be stupid people out there. Who
Which
play
we
this-
are too right now.
Well,
But you can, on one ticket, you can have multiple players on a ticket.
yeah, but, like, you know, the main idiot tax is I've seen people go in and pop $20, you know, on scratchers and pop another 20.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, getting to the topic I'm trying to go, like, if I'd won, you know, if this ticket won, he and I can split it. He can take a lump sum. He can take half as a lump sum, and I can take half as payments.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know that was possible.
Yep.
So, like, you know, can you explain, like, a little bit
No,
of that?
you just
Like,
explained it well.
okay.
You have multiple winners. They can do whatever they want when they're winning.
Yeah, but, like, you know,
On a
multiple.
ticket.
But yeah, I knew about multiple winners, but on one physical ticket, like if multiple people all had the same numbers, those are different tickets. I understand that.
Yeah.
But on one ticket, I can't imagine two people claiming one. You know?
Well, like I said earlier today in this conversation, companies go in with 10, 12, 15 players playing on
Yeah.
on one ticket, so
Yeah.
to speak.
Okay.
So they all divide up. They become equal winners. They can choose on their own whatever they want to do with it.
And that must not happen that often because I've never heard of company pools like that.
Company pools have won before, sure.
I've never heard of it, you know, happening with lottery. I've heard betting on horses and things like that, but you know.
No.
Anyway, 2018. What do we got?
2018, Aerosmith lead singer,
Lead singer.
Steven Tyler sends cease and desist to letter to U.S. President Trump demanding he stop using his band songs at rallies.
Oh, what a
Wank.
crybaby.
Wait,
Wang, I don't want to be part of American history. Wang. Boo-hoo.
wait.
I don't know if he can do that because it is in the public domain. I don't know if he can.
Well, that's why he sent a cease and desist, but I'm not sure if he
Don't
can
know
follow
if
it up.
that works or not. And then
Yeah.
who's who or whatever.
Yeah.
Or maybe he just cease and desist. I don't know.
Well, you know, good luck going after Trump. So, 2018, French Open tennis banned Serena Williams' black Nike catsuit from future tournaments, citing respect for the game and place. Yeah, you know, like stop with this pushing your, you know, beliefs and ideologies and all that crap. You get on the court, and you're on the court. You know, that's it.
Well, I know the French Open you have to play in all white. That's a must.
2019 as well, Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro ordered the army to help contain fires in the Amazon after widespread environmental destruction, wildlife loss, and international criticism. Yeah, all those fires and everything.
Yeah.
We got two more 2019s. Britain's Prince Andrew denied knowing his friend Jeffrey Epstein was involved in trafficking of underage girls, and public accusations made against him. So of course Prince Andrew is going to deny that. You know, like, you know, they're all involved, all of them.
There's some very powerful people involved for sure.
Yeah, that's why the client list hasn't been come out.
Yeah, exactly right.
Because they're you know, Stephen Hawking was on the client list. I mean, like some people have leaked the client list and such, and that's why they're withholding it. They're trying to put in names, you know, just to pad it.
Yeah.
You know, Stephen Hawking. Yeah, I'm sure he was over there. Yeah, sure. 2019, U.S. adventurer Victor Vescovo was the first person to visit the deepest point of every ocean when he reached Molly Hole in the Arctic. So that's an interesting record.
They should tell us how deep he went.
Well, the deepest.
Yeah, I know. What is it though? Doesn't matter.
Well, I think he hit rock bottom. There's only so much you can go
Yeah,
deep.
but I mean, how deep was it? What is the actual depth?
You want to know the actual
No.
depth of Molly Hole?
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, I can look that up. Molly Hole. That's the wrong. Here we go. Molly Hole depth. Let's see here. 100 miles. I mean, no. That's not possible. It's not 100 miles. It says here, it's from It's 100 miles east of Greenland. Okay, so
Oh.
its depth is 8,900 feet.
Okay.
So a mile, almost 2. 2,700 meters, 8,900 feet. So, all right.
Yeah, 100 miles a bit much.
Yeah, no, that's
You'd be at the core. Or you'd be pretty hot down
Well,
there. You
the-
wouldn't be at the core, but
well, the Challenger Deep is only 7 miles down, and that's the deepest point, period, in the ocean. Challenger Deep. So, 2020, what do we got here? Here we go. Your mic's not on.
Shit. Always on for that. Oh, 2020, first documented case of a person being reinfected with COVID-19 a second time in Hong Kong. Man, 4 months after his first infection.
Oh, it's only 2 weeks to flatten the curve. Just kidding, 4 weeks. Just kidding, 4 months. Just kidding, 4 years. Just kidding. We meant total fascism. You know? So, yeah, that's how it played out.
Yep.
Yep.
2021 16th Paralympic Games opens in Tokyo, Japan.
It's cool.
I'm not reading that. 2021 Kathy Hochul becomes first female governor of New York, replacing Andrew Cuomo after his resignation.
All right.
2021 UN says Madagascar on brink of world's first climate change famine, with people suffering catastrophic levels of hunger after 4 years without rain. Holy shit.
Always blaming climate
40.
change.
you know, they pop climate change, famine. You know, weather's in cycles. You know.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
It's like a heartbeat.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly right.
Sometimes we get an ice age and it goes a little lower.
Yep.
And it pops back up and keeps going up, up. Oh, you have to study geography, and you'll know the
Weather.
heartbeat of
Yeah.
weather
Geography
pattern.
or geology.
Geology. Sorry.
Yeah. 2022, British-Belgian teen Mac Rutherford, at the age of 17, became the youngest person to fly solo around the world, landing at Sofia, Bulgaria, after a 5-month journey across 52 countries. Wow.
17.
Wow, that is one hell of a awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Like, ooh. We also have South Korea, again, recorded the world's lowest fertility rate at 0.81. The advanced economics average 1.6. Population replacement needs 2.1. So they are really in trouble.
They're diminishing.
Yeah.
So is China.
Yep. Well, China, you know, they did that to
And the
themselves.
rate we're going, we will too.
Well, everybody is, and that's all
Yeah.
part of the plan. Don't forget the Georgia Guidestones. There shall be no more than 500 million worldwide. Because the people in power, the less people there are to control, the easier it is to do so. 2022, U.S. President Biden announced plan to cancel student loan debts by 10,000 for those earning less than 125,000 and 20,000 for those who had received Pell Grants. Yeah, that was a giant bullshit. So, and anyone who fell
Well, he
for
didn't
that,
have the power to do it.
well, it doesn't matter. Anyone who fell for this crap deserves to get, in trouble. Like, if you're really that stupid that you think that the government is going to bail you out, you deserve everything bad that happens to
Well,
you.
he was trying to buy votes.
Yeah, exactly.
But the Constitution came out and said, no, you don't have that legal power to do that.
Yeah,
That's up to the House of Representatives.
yeah.
They have the purse strings, not you.
Well, it doesn't matter who has the purse strings. It matters who can, manipulate the ignorant masses. Because most, outside of the people who are in control of stuff on the left, I doubt any of them know anything of what you just said. They're all mindless. No. 2023, BRICS, meeting an emerging nations in South Africa, agreed to invite 6 new nations to join in an attempt to balance global power of U.S. and Europe. Huh. So what is BRICS? Let's
The
look.
British,
Ah.
yeah, can't remember the whole thing.
BRICS. Oh, Brazil, Russia,
Oh,
India,
Brazil,
China,
okay.
South. No. Let's see
I
here.
thought that was a British deal. Okay, my bad.
Well, no. It initially, BRICS is an intergovernmental organization comprising of Brazil B, Russia R, India I, China C, and South Africa S, BRICS.
Yes, yeah.
And then has since added Iran, Egypt, Ethiopia, and the UAE. So Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, BRICS. Yeah. So that's pretty interesting. Oh, there's good old Winnie the Pooh right there. Oh. There's 3 more articles. They're all for you, starting with FIFA.
FIFA opens disciplinary case against Luis Rubiales, head of Spanish football, for kissing a player on the lips during celebrations for the Spanish Women's World Cup.
There's a time and a place, and it's not there. Like, that, yeah. Don't go smooching people on the thing. Like, I understand that it's celebratory, but a peck on the cheek, it will suffice. You know?
Go work.
Yeah, we don't need people Frenching.
Yeah,
You know?
or not.
Yeah.
High five. Fist bump.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah.
2023 former U.S. Donald President.
Donald President?
Former U.S. President Donald Trump surrenders at Fulton County Jail to be arrested. Charges stemming from his attempts to alter the 2020 Georgia election, and gets a mugshot.
Yeah,
Let's
which is
look at
now
it.
famous.
What's our president look like?
Yeah. Yeah, that mugshot, like
Yeah.
massive meme.
Yeah.
Trump mugshot.
And then shot at his mug. I like your little add-on.
Yeah. Yeah, then someone took a shot at his mug.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, no, this one.
Yeah.
Like, very famous. Truck mug shop, coffee cup.
Yeah.
Oh, this is what I want here. I want this. You want to know why?
Why?
It's his mug on a mug.
Oh.
It's a mug shot mug on a mug. It's mug cubed. So I might also want this one, So, but yeah. You have what? Do you have that hat, or do you still want that hat? You're looking at some hat after the incident. Or do you have it? Oh, nice. Yeah, grazed and unfazed. Look at that. And see, there's a little red thing by his ear right there.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
And I love how you have a big ass fishing hook on there too.
Yeah, that's my thing. I do that to hats.
Nice.
2023 Norwegian Magnus Carlsen defeats Indian teenager Ramvis in a tie break to win his first chess World Cup championship. Holy cow! Look at the vowels in that.
Dude, like,
No kidding.
I'm sorry to say, no offense to this guy, but I cannot pronounce a name that looks like visually what the sound of a plunger makes.
I think it's easier to learn chess than to learn the sound of that name.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it though. Rami Shababu Pragnanananada.
Oh. Yeah, that's
That's pretty good.
that's the way he pronounces it.
I'm white, okay? I'm sorry.
You got the first one pretty good, then you
Yeah.
just hammered the last.
Anyway, that shall conclude the show. Once again, please check the underbar of the description below for any links you may be interested in, from history sources, collected links in all things Omni Coalition, and more. For your dose of Passive Edge Daily, we stream every day, or try to, at 11 in the morning Pacific Time, which is 12 noon Mountain, 1 Central, and 2 p.m. Eastern, respectively. We have other shows from history to news, movie reactions and reviews, and also Omni Kitchen. Check the underbar. For all of you and all of us, I am Xander.
King's Refuge.
Golden Loon.
And we had, ghostery, hostery with the mostery, Casper, whatever name she wants to call herself. She was here. And you, viewer, the most important part, while we're here, thank you very much once again. And until you catch us next time, whenever that is, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe.